What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Kush back at it again with another New York Giants, or I should say NFL Just Chillin podcast call-in episode show. That's a mouthful. As usual, you guys already know. I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody in the chat in just a second. We got the members in here first for the first 30 minutes. I already got Logan. Why is there two of you in here? I'm just gonna remove the one that's not a video. I already got 4 members in here, so that should actually be quite a bit to kill out the first 30 minutes. Of course, if there's any members in the chat that wants to join, the link is already on community notes, and then at 9:30, I will post the link for everybody else to join. So let me quickly give a shout out to Joe Yaddo, Nate Talk Giants, Bryson Sports Talk, Viz Ed, Tracy Stang, Mizrahi in here, the call-in legend, quickly becoming a favorite, Jaden the Champ, Football Talk with Benny, Logan's Giant Zone, Joseph Balby, Mike Nixon. Is that everybody? I'm continuing to scroll down here. Sunny D, NFL DNA, Toast, and Yuvraj, and I think that's about it, and John Doe. So with that being said, let's pop on the first guest. It's the legendary Beard, Joel Yada. What up, Joel? How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. How you doing? Getting ready for the storms headed our way?
I know, right? Like, how bad is it going to be? It's not going to be too bad, is it?
I heard up to 7 inches of snow here on the west of New York.
I don't know how much is going to be in NYC. Then I'm gonna assume like maybe 3 or 4 inches less than 7 inches.
Yeah, that'd be about right. Just real quick, I don't know as if he's in here or not, but Jay St. G from Nerd Cage Live, I'd like to give him a shout out.
Mm-hmm.
He did that. What is that?
The watch along.
Yes, he did that. He did a phenomenal job. For somebody that's not into movies a lot, he was him and those guys that were in there, they just pointed out all the little things that come into other movies. Phenomenal. I highly recommend going over there for a watch party and joining.
Big shout out to them. He was on the last call-in show, and I told y'all to go check it out because the last call was on Thursday. You will not be disappointed. No. I think they might be doing one for Godzilla versus Kong. I'm gonna have to ask because that comes out tomorrow, so we'll see.
Yeah, tomorrow night, right?
Yeah. So we'll see.
Be watching that.
And real quick, shout out to, this is my cousin, Hemshri Peter. I'm not sure if this. Now here's the thing: this is either her or her daughter, because her daughter uses, whoever it is. That's family right there. What up? How you doing? But yeah, let's go ahead, Joe. Let's get right to it. Yeah.
All right. I'll have Jay show you his big baby. Just ask him. The media lately is driving me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
We can't win for losing.
Why? What's the media say? Wait, hold up. There's several things that they could misconstrue and spin in their own ways. Which one are you referring to?
Dude, it's like all of it. I'm just, we sign these guys, and it's like, well, Galladay's the best receiver out there. We sign him, and it's like, well, you overpaid. He's not that good. He's injury prone. He's... how come we can't get a break? I guess what it is. We've been bad for so long. Our fans are in a league of their own. I mean, we've had bad football, but we all support the community. We support each other. That stuff's just starting to get to me and drive me nuts. I mean, here we are. We have a lot of hope. Really, I mean, really, Hub, is there anybody that you're going to be upset about if they draft?
Not really.
I mean, even if it's Rousseau, if it's Pitts, if it's
even and I said this before as a joke, but even if it's Rousseau, and this is low-key a hot take, and I said it in today's video as well, I feel like the Giants have done such a good job in free agency that we have a little bit of luxury with the 11th pick.
Well, that's like when we got Tuck from Notre Dame. He had a knee injury.
Mm-hmm.
That draft class, there was a couple of guys that were injured that fell that Reese took a chance on. But look, I understand people, you're going to hate the pick. But you guys have had such hopes from last year with what Judge did. I mean, what more can you? The man's trying to build a winning culture, which he is succeeding in doing that. He's just got to get his players in.
Mm-hmm.
If he feels that Rousseau is his type of player, these guys are coaches. These guys want people with a high upside.
They're also teachers.
Yes, that's their job, is that they develop these guys, get them to what they want, and then it's Gettleman's job to get them under contract. You know, it's a whole learning process. Here we are as fans, we want great players, but Judge is sitting back there, think of it as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Look what I could do with this kid. Look what he could do for his team. Look at the potential. If he has the right attitude, if he's willing to come in and study, if he's willing to practice, I mean, if that was look at how Jones does.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, he does the film. He puts on 10, 12 pounds. He's always in there whenever he can get in the door. Though that's somebody Judge wants. He's willing to coach somebody like that. If not, he'd be out the door, right? Just like everybody else.
I mean, remember, Judge wasn't even say his name for the first couple months that he was here.
Right. He's like, I want to give these guys a fair shot. I want to give them a chance to create their own atmosphere with me as the head coach. So even though I've been preaching O-line since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not an O-lineman, I'm still not going to get upset, because I feel Judge knows what the team wants. Judge knows what the team needs, and he's going to get the guys in that he wants to get in. We're still paying for Reese's mistakes. We have to take that into consideration. And then all the other people, all the Gettleman haters are gone, but just wait till something happens. You're going to hear about them again. It's like, now everybody, it's not Gettleman so much, but now it's like, well, Daniel Jones isn't that good.
And and also another thing, they usually overlap. The Gettleman, the haters, and the Jones doubters usually overlap.
Oh, yeah, they just sit in the wings and wait. It's like, Danny fumbles. Well, yeah, okay, if you want to look at 2 years, he did have a lot. But how many did he have over the last 7 games? But they won't talk about that.
How good was he when, the line was actually protecting him?
The last 7 games, dude, he had 1 fumble.
Mm-hmm. And you talk about he just looked better with, making decisions, making certain throws as well. Like, last 7 games really showed a lot of improvement. And real quick, I want to get a shout out to new people popping in. King Tone, Dominic, Edward Chan, or was Edward in here earlier? Vance Billow. I think I gave a shout out to Sonny D. Bobby Murphy, the local Eagles fan. David A.V., Ash Money Records, and of course, let me quickly, where to go? And the sports influencer, but there's one person here. Where did they disappear to?
Hi, Sabrina.
Hi, Sabrina. All right, Joe, continue.
Hub's bringing game, baby. All manscaped up and everything. He's bringing game. I like it. But
let's stat Walton, Frankie G in here as well. Jon Snow, Targaryen. Yeah, go ahead, man. Word.
All right. Now let's look at our free agency. How would you guys all grade the free agency? I give it a solid B+.
Mm-hmm. You a B+? I would say
give it a B+.
Yeah, I'd give it around. Maybe I'm biased. I'd say A-, but yeah, I'll take a B+.
I can't give it an A- or an A, just for the simple fact of
Levi in here as well.
They've had injuries.
Mm-hmm.
We're still concerned about Barkley, even though he's our guy. But we don't know if he's 100%. So I don't know if they say they're healthy, but we all know how training camp is, because that's when the injuries pop up.
Don't remind me the amount of times the Giants got killed in training camp and preseason because of injuries over the past 5 years or so. We should know that.
Yes, but they have a new strength and conditioner coach. I mean, we had injuries, but they were more sprains and tears than it was soft tissue. Slayton had a foot, and then we had the Achilles, and then X-Man had the shoulder. And so, that's a different type of injury.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't have the tears, the sprains, the muscle sprains, the bruises, the deep tissue. That's what holds these guys back, because those take so long. But we got depth, which we really, really needed. We all saw that last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got guys,
especially Joel. Big news today, 17 games confirmed.
Yes.
For the regular season. Everything about health is going to matter way more now.
I wish that they would up the rosters to like a 55-man.
I also wish that they would add a second bye week, but that's just me.
Yeah, I'd like to see that, one in the first 10 weeks and then one in the second 7 weeks.
Yeah, something like that. However they work it out, I think that would be a nice way to counterbalance like what is essentially another game of opportunities to get hit and injured.
But isn't there only 2 preseason games now
Three.
because they added?
There's
There's
three
3.
preseason games.
Okay,
But
so they took away
let's
one.
be fair though, Joel. Right? It's not like starters are out here playing preseason games full quarters.
No. I mean, that's where you find depth in your skills, and I think that's what hurt Judge. And then a lot of these guys that we're signing right now, remember how bad special teams got at the second half of the season?
I think over the course of the season, I don't know what it was because 2018 and 2019, we were so strong in special teams.
Injuries got.
Is Joel frozen for anybody else or just me? Am I frozen?
Was that me or you?
Okay, you're back. I was looking at the stream. I think it was your end. Yeah, you're back.
Probably me. But our special teamers that's where we needed the depth. I mean, because they went to starters, and then we had second string special teamers, and that showed up when those guys were, because we all watched Judge go through the film breakdown on the special teams, and watch how this man comes into this lane from this, as they're coming down the field, he broke them down, and everybody was like really enthusiastic about that. You started to see the breakdowns when they were starting to come back down the field. So a lot of this, that's why I give it a solid B plus. I think Judge saw exactly what this team needed. I don't see the Giants going out on a spending spree like this again, because now Judge is going to start getting hit. He's going to have this year's draft, last year's draft, and next year's draft. And then that's really when the team should take off. That's really, I mean, I expect us, I'm going to stand by it 12-5.
Yeah, that's still even for me a bit high, 12-5. I'll keep it real.
No, you know what? The Cowboys, if the pundits and everybody can say that the Cowboys since 1995 are going to win the division in the Super Bowl, I can sit here as a Giants fan and say, yep, we're going 12-5. We're going to win the division. We're going to smoke all you. We're going to go 6-0 in the division.
Oh, nice.
You know what? If they can do it, I'm doing it.
Why not? The beard has spoken.
Yeah, the beard knows all, darn it.
And Joe, that's actually going to be a pretty strong point to end it off here before I get Max Webster on next. He's showing me the peace sign. Yeah, your boy Max. But if you don't want to end it on that strong note, what about you said you weren't angry about anywhere the Giants could go. You're still in favor of O-line though at 11?
I am still in favor of O-line. Yes, I have been an O-line pundit. And look, I know people don't want to move anybody, but if we get somebody who is strong at the center, and look, if Gates is the best guy that we put at right guard, I'm all for that. If we get Slater and Gates is still strong at center, put Slater at guard. Or if Pert, switch them two, put Pert as guard, Slater as tackle. Let's get this line.
Just figure it out.
We have to do that, because if this O-line is crap and DJ's getting hit 84 times again this year, can you really say that DJ's a good quarterback because he's getting crushed all the time? No, you can't. So until that happens, we got the weapons. We have to.
I mean, we saw what happened before a couple of years ago. All weapons, no line. So
Mahomes couldn't do it in the Super Bowl. You really expect Daniel Jones to do it? So
good point there, Joe. And hopefully they get the line fixed. I mean, I expect them to. Like, if we're gonna be honest, I think we all see that they're going to. If they don't, then there's definitely gonna be riots. But thank you for calling in, Joe.
Thank you, sir.
Next up, we got Max Webster. Guys, go over there. Check out Mic'd Up with Max Webster. Is that a green screen or a background?
That's the background.
That's actually, it looks so professional. I don't know why. That's really cool.
It's my first time on your channel with a new camera, so I do photography. This is my DSLR camera that I use for photography.
All right, guys, this man has a DSLR camera. You should just close shop. Those things are like hundreds to $2,000s of dollars expensive, man. The man's out here.
It's the Canon EOS RP. The camera body was about $1,000 or so, and the lens on it's about another $500. So.
Yeah, no, he's actually putting in the work. Another reason you guys should go over there and check it out. He's about to be using
Speaking of which.
Yeah,
I just recorded episode 7 with someone who frequents in your call-ins.
A call-in person?
Oh yes.
Was it Joel Yaddo?
It was not. However, he was the youngest guest that I've had on my podcast yet, coming in at 17 years old, we got Alex from Big Blue in the Bronx.
Oh, I was about to say Nate. But okay, yeah, Alex. Okay, yeah.
Yep, Alex came on the podcast. That'll be up tomorrow, 6:30 over on my channel. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about Alex from Big Blue in the Bronx, go check that out tomorrow. But Hub, thanks for having me on, man. It's always fun. Always enjoy talking. And to address Joel, because he says he's not going to be upset no matter who we take at 11. You know what I'm going to say to that? Give me Trayvon Grimes, baby.
You know what? To be honest, we still need another wide receiver, man. Grimes is one of the more explosive dudes in the class. Like we all saw that play on the live stream. I pulled up his highlights. Complete separation from everybody. Just open in the middle of the field. Like, I can understand where you're coming from.
Best receiver in the class by far. But yeah, man, on my podcast, right? So when you were on, it was a little bit of a different talk because we hadn't started free agency yet. So I guess I wanted to come in here and get your opinion on a couple of things that I've been asking people. Give me your most underrated move this offseason.
Okay, so I might have to think a little bit because the one that's coming immediately to my mind is the one we made within the first week, but we've made several since then, right? I would initially say Ifidi, but I feel like that's kind of negated a bit because we then got a legit nose tackle in Felton. But the reason I said Ifidi is because he's another one of those pass rushers that we've been taking chances on that have shown that they could get the job done if they're put in the right situation, which is not the number one pass rusher, and he's definitely not going to be the number one. He's going to be like the number 3 or 4 if we're going to be honest. So I think he's going to have like not that much attention on him. We saw he could get to the quarterback, but the signing of Felton is probably now the most underrated because he's literally Dalvin Tomlinson, but on a vet minimum deal, which I'm like, it's kind of hard for me not to say.
Are the expectations that high for this guy?
No, I'm talking about Dalvin Tomlinson in terms of run stuffing, not in terms of like, because Dalvin Thompson was really underrated in terms of getting pass rushing attention. But he's going to be our run stuffing nose tackle, in my opinion. Like that's what he's brought here for. So he's probably not going to be on the field all that much, but that takes away from Ifidi because now I'm like, what is the defensive line rotation going to be? And I feel sorry for my guy BJ Hill too, who I really wanted to have another shot, but he's clearly going to be a career rotational piece, at least with the Giants. As sad as that is, so it would be one of the defensive linemen. Maybe I'll throw in Reggie Ragland there because maybe a rotation of him and Crowder actually is really good next to Martinez, and we just move forward with that as second middle linebacker. But the defensive linemen come to mind for me. What about you?
Yeah, so I kind of take a different approach to answer this question, right? It was just an off-season move for me, right? It wasn't necessarily a player that we acquired, but I really think, aside from the Leonard Williams contract and how they structured that, that's up to the front office. But I really don't think that people realize how much Nate Solder helped us this year. That
is an off-season move. That is a free agency move, yeah.
That is the most underrated move to me, because unless this man takes nearly a $14 million pay cut, we can't do what we did this free agency. So I think that's the most underrated move for me. And aside from general consensus, right, because everybody's excited, Kenny Golladay, number 1 wide receiver. We've been asking for it forever.
But that you can't consider that as underrated because everybody
right. Yeah. No. This is moving into something different because it caught me by surprise when it happened. But it's probably the most excited thing that I am to see next year in the offense and how this person is incorporated is Kyle Rudolph. He's gonna have a surgery. He's gonna have to recoup, but
I think he has enough time before the season.
Yeah, absolutely. If there was any question, they probably would have renegotiated a contract, or heck, maybe the Giants would have even pulled it off the table. But excuse me. It's just been so long since the New York Giants have had a agreed, Jay, like it up. But yeah, it's just been so long since we've had a sure-handed tight end who plays a traditional tight end role, who can be that red zone target when we're inside.
I'm glad you said traditional tight end role because we haven't had that since before Evan Ingram, basically.
Yeah. And, you have Caden Smith and Levine Toilolo who play the tight end role when it comes to blocking for the run, but Daniel Jones isn't going to be looking for either one of those two when we're inside the 20-yard line. So I'm just excited to see how Kyle Rudolph can come into this offense, and I know he's not what he once was, but that's just something I'm excited to see this year, and I think it might have part to do in the fact that the signing caught me so off guard that I was just shocked, and now I'm excited. And maybe that's just me. What do you think?
No, I agree with you because Kyle Rudolph, the best thing about him is okay. I was gonna say the best thing about him is his underrated receiving ability, but no, I can't say that. The dude's a really good blocker at tight end. Okay, I'm super excited to actually have a blocker that that's been proven and was at one point a number one tight end. Right, like when we got Toilola, we're like, oh, he's gonna be our blocker. I personally was not happy with Toilolo's blocking last year. There are some fans who were. Caden Smith is okay at blocking. Kyle Rudolph is going to be amazing at blocking for us. I'm finally happy that we have a tight end that could go out there and do what is supposed to be half of his job, right? And he could still do the other half of his job. Now, he doesn't have the stats because, well, he's not supposed to. That wasn't the way he was used. But the dude has some of the best hands at the position over the past, like, 4 or 5 years in the NFL. And even on his career, he's like 68% in terms of receiving percentage when he's targeted and whatnot. And he's had, 0 or 1 drops in the past 2 years. And I expect us to use him 0, right? I expect us to use him very similarly to how Minnesota used him the past couple of years, which was not that much because he's not going to be like, I don't know, a big play receiver because he's not supposed to be. That's not what he is.
Right.
That's why I do agree with you. And I think he suits a lot more. At least this is if Jason Garrett is kind of stuck in the past. He suits a lot more the Jason Witten type tight end than Evan Ingram does. Sometimes
Absolutely.
I think to myself, maybe Garrett just didn't know what to do with a guy like Ingram. But yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't really got much else to say. I just wanted to come in here and chat it up with you. It's been a minute. I kind of disappeared. I know life's been crazy. I've been back and forth between places, setting up, tearing down, working on new setups, recording episodes,
as you guys can see, the
job.
Camera. So. Come on now.
But yeah, I appreciate you having me on, man. Before you go ahead and kick me out, I'll just go ahead and dip out, get your next member on, and let these people in the chat call in. But have a good night, man. I appreciate it, and we'll chat soon for sure.
For sure, man, guys. Go over there, check out Mic'd Up with Max Webster. You see the work he's putting in. And y'all, if you don't know anything about it, check out the first episode where Max talks about himself. It kind of reels you in, and you're like, how can I not support this guy? He's like, come on.
Well,
now.
and you got to come support the guy Hub too. He was, I think, my 3rd guest on the channel.
Yeah, 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, 3rd guest, I think. Something like that. But yeah, Hub talks about growing up, different places. If you want to learn more about the Hub when he's not talking about the Giants, his episode's over there. I got people like Chris the Entertainer, Bobby Skinner, Justin Pennick, and then tomorrow is going to be Alex from Big Blue in the Bronx.
There you go. Have a good one, Max. Thank you for calling in, man.
Peace.
Next up, we got Mike Nixon. Mike, is that a different profile picture?
Yeah.
What's up, man, with the Barkley and Angel Wings, man? What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing good, Hub. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. What are we talking? Giants, Knicks? What's up?
We can talk a little bit about the Knicks and how we desperately need a center.
Mitch is out after coming back, like he got immediately re-injured, right?
Yeah, like,
oh man,
like how unfortunate is that for us?
He's basically gone for the season, right?
Well, not exactly. I think they said about 6 to 8 weeks.
How many weeks are there left in this? I thought there was around like 8 weeks left in the season or something.
I guess he would be out for the season, but if we made the playoffs.
Listen, I'll tell you this, bro. It's all setting up because currently, what seed are we? The Knicks. We're like, what, the 5th seed right now?
5th or 6th seed, yeah.
I'm telling you, bro, this is God's plan of what I've been saying to get us to the 7th seed so that we enter the first round versus Brooklyn, the 2nd seed, and knock them out, bro. Come on now, Mike. How did you not see that?
You're right.
Nah, but for real though, we
celebrating when we do.
Yeah, but for real though, I mean, like, do you think that this is gonna become a problem for Mitch, or is this something it's just like, let's get this year out of the way and he's gonna be fine next year?
I hope so. I hope to God the injuries stop.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, I seen a little rumor that the Mavericks are looking to go after Mitch this offseason.
Go after Mitch?
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna have to try and retain him, man. Because honestly, in my opinion, I think we're like,
But I also
yeah.
heard that we may try to go after Cat in the off season.
Yeah, I don't want Cat. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Why?
I'm not a fan of Cat, bro. I mean,
Why?
I don't know. I feel like Cat isn't that much of an improvement over Mitch. Hot take, I guess. It's not that like I okay, maybe I framed it wrong. It's not that I don't like the guy. I just feel like it wouldn't be that much of an improvement considering we're probably gonna have to give him a hefty contract.
Okay. I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel that Mitch is good for defense, but I'm looking like for a scoring center, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We need somebody that can put the ball in the basket besides Randall, besides Barry, you know, besides Quickly. And I mean, I think that Towns would help because he can stretch the floor too.
So let's say then that we let Mitch walk or Mitch signs somewhere else, whatever the case is, he's not on the team. We sign Cat. First of all, what kind of contract? And then second of all, what kind of player are we drafting?
Well, first off, it would be a trade.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be willing to send them Obi Toppin, Frank Ntilikina, and Kevin Knox, and our 2 first rounders this year for a Cat.
Okay, I wouldn't be necessarily against that.
Or we can go after D'Angelo Russell, and that will solidify our point guard spot.
That's another hot take I'm gonna say. I'm fine with because I think at his peak that IQ could be like an average guard in the league. I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, to quickly steer to the Giants because NFL DNA has been asking this for a while. Who do you think they will take at 11?
I have to stick with my man though, Parsons. Parsons or Waddle.
All right. Tell me, where's Parsons going to slide in on this defense? Or where do you think he's going to help him slide in? Patrick Graham, that is.
Any of the linebacker spots. He can play any of the linebacker spots, and I truly believe that his coverage ability is underrated.
Okay.
I mean, he does need improvement, but he's an okay pass defender. And I feel that with Graham there, he can help him with that. And our linebackers coach can help him out with that.
So I know that you're not only, for those of you that don't know, he's also a big PSU fan. But Parsons is, I've said it a lot, probably the best defensive talent in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'll tell you this. What's to stop a team ahead of us from taking him? Do you see any team that could possibly take him, or do you think he could drop to us?
I can see somebody taking him, like the Broncos, because I think the first 4 picks will be quarterbacks. And then somewhere with I say the best chance is Denver. That could
You said Denver?
It. Denver or Carolina. So I say around there. But
man.
I mean, do not. I don't want anybody to get me wrong. I wouldn't mind Slater because I know it's a need. It's just
This is who you
I
want the
like.
most, basically.
Or Jalen Waddle
Mm-hmm.
because I just think that speed is unteachable. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we can he will blow the top off defenses, and plus, not only that, he can help us
What up,
in
wild
special
child?
teams.
Wait. You say Michael Parsons? No, Jalen Waddle,
No.
right? Jalen Waddle, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I've always agreed with that, but at the same time, I'm like, are we really gonna put our 11th overall pick at punt return? Like, are we about to do that?
I mean, or kick return and have
Okay.
have John Ross or Dante Pettis for punt return.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't mind Waddle as a kick returner.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, as much as I hate to say it, we might be moving on from Shepard next year.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I could 100% see that. As much as I like, it's not that I don't want to, because sometimes we forget Shepard's concussion problems are like
Yeah,
legit. Like the
yeah,
dude was at one point considering retirement. I think that was in
yeah.
2019. So there is that. But I don't like it. It comes back to me saying he's a really good receiver, and he doesn't get like the appreciation he should. But I would be completely fine if we let go of him. I really would. I'll be completely fine if we move on from him.
Mm-hmm. And right there, we have our slot of the future. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I just can't wait, man. 4
We're like a
weeks,
month away.
literally a month away.
Yeah. But let me get your last thought there, Mike. I got one more member in, Logan, and then we're on to the regular callers.
Just everybody sub up my blog right here.
Thank you, Mike. Well, by the way, what made you change the profile pic?
I like that. I mean, I have 2 different ones of accounts, and I guess this one just popped up when you sent me the link.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's all good, man. Have a good one there, Mike.
huh?
I said have a good one. Thank you for calling in.
You're welcome, Mo.
Next up, we got Logan's Giant Zone. This dude always wears the Barkley shirt, bro. Like, is it like a Tuesday thing to wear the Barkley shirt? You're muted, by the way, Logan.
All right, sorry there. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. 2 things. One, I'm gonna do a mock draft because the people have been asking for it, but I don't want to like take over the stream real quick. But can you block this guy in the chat, Bobby Miller? He keeps asking people if they watch porn.
Isn't that what my mods are for? All right, yeah, my mods took care of it. Thank you, Sabrina. I'm like, that's what my mods are for, bro.
Bring it up on stream. It's just it gets annoying. Plus,
Yeah, don't. If anybody in the chat, don't do that, guys. Like, why would you do that? That's kind of low key. And Bobby, if you're an adult, there's minors in here.
and plus, he's been in my streams before with Benny, and he's called us gay and stuff, so I know him. All right, now back to the actual thing that I came here to do. The people have asked for it, so I'm going to do another mock draft.
All right, I will ask you to make it quick though.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, first overall pick, everyone knows it's going to be Trevor Lawrence. Second overall pick, Zach Wilson. This is where the draft. Sorry. This is where the draft actually starts. 3 San Francisco. I have them taking Justin Fields. I know some people say Trey Lance because in my opinion, Trey Lance does have more potential, but I think Justin Fields is more of a ready to start kind of guy. All right, Falcons. I have them taking Trey Lance because they need a QB in the next year or two. Now Bengals, obviously Penei Sewell. All right, now Miami. I have them taking Jamar Chase. Detroit, I have them taking. I know they need an outside receiver more, but I think they'll take Jalen Waddle because I think the league has accepted that Devontae Smith is the third receiver. All right, now Carolina. This one's weird, and I need your opinion on this. Mac Jones.
Was he the only QB available?
Yes.
So you already had 3. I've always been wary of the fact of 4 QBs going in the first 10, just because that would literally be NFL history the first time it's happened. So that alone is putting me off of it a bit. And I don't know. I haven't seen any connections between Carolina and Mac Jones. Maybe there is, but I don't know. I actually, that's one that I'll definitely question a bit.
Yeah. Now 9 for the Broncos. I have Patrick Surtain. Cowboys. I have Slater. And here's the Giants pick. With the 11th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Elijah Vera-Tucker, guard, USC.
Did I miss Slater going? I missed Slater going, didn't I? Who did he go to?
Dallas.
He went one pick. And there was definitely a corner available. I know that for a fact for Dallas.
Yeah.
AVT? I'm not against it, but I'm like, there's other players there, but yeah, I'll rock with it. I'll rock with it.
All right. Now Eagles, Devontae Smith, they can ruin his career just like everyone else. All right, now the Chargers, Christian Darrisaw, obviously, no question. Now Vikings, this one is gonna be weird. J.C. Horn.
I don't see it as weird, to be honest. I can see that happening.
Corners, like who's their number one corner? I know
not even number one. Their secondary isn't what it used to be. So I could see it happening. It's not really that weird.
Yeah. Not Raiders. Sorry, Patriots. I have Micah Parsons. Because Belichick is known to have those weird guys. Now Cardinals, Greg Newsome over Farley. I just feel like the back surgery is just might even make him fall into the second round. Raiders, Christian Barmore.
Okay.
That was a good pick. Washington, I have Tevin Jenkins. Sorry, Miami though, I have Sam Cosmi. But Chicago, they re-signed Robinson, right? Or they tagged him?
They tagged him.
I still have.
What's happening, man? You kind of just went quiet.
My thing crashed. Sorry. All right, I need to get this thing back up. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'll be real quick.
Did you not type it out? Was it like on PFN or something?
Yeah, I was on PFN. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Let me get this up.
Hey, thank you for getting me to 50, guys.
All right, sorry. Bears, I have Bateman for the number 2 receiver. Now, Indianapolis, the first edge comes off the board, Kwity Paye.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's a good scheme for them. And then Tennessee, I have Azeez Ojulari. And then Nate's favorite player out of the draft, I think he said that one time, Jalen Phillips for the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, Pittsburgh, I have
Jalen Phillips over offensive lineman or something, or maybe even another weapon.
I feel like I know those are slightly bigger needs, but I just feel like he'd be a good scheme fit for them. He could do he could be good for them. So
they did get Carl Lawson in free agency.
They did.
Yeah.
Damn it. All right. Steelers, I have Najee Harris. Jacksonville, I have Liam Eichenberg. Cleveland, I got Rousseau. He's going to go in the first round. It's going to happen. Baltimore, Terrace Marshall. New Orleans, Nick Bolton. Green Bay, Kadarius Toney. Buffalo, Etienne. Kansas City, Wyatt Davis. And Tampa, Jalen Mayfield.
Okay, not bad. Definitely different. I think it's pretty realistic, except for the fact, and I'm gonna say this for anybody that has a mock like this: 4 QBs in the first round. Like, we're really, if it hasn't happened before, you know what I'm saying? My take on it is, man, I gotta see it to believe it. With 4 quarterbacks going within the first 10 picks, not within the first round, because that's literally never happened before in NFL history. But other than that, not a bad mock, man. Which one was your favorite pick to make?
Probably the J.C. Horn for Minnesota pick.
Okay, and what made you go AVT for the Giants? What were you considering there?
He was the only lineman left on the board that I would consider taking to play guard, so I just feel like he was the best scheme fit for us to play guard.
And so you had Devontae on the board. What made you say no?
I think we have enough playmakers, and I think we can get a receiver in the second or third round, or even fourth, like what's his name, Tamari and Terry. I feel like line's a bigger need for us because you do not need Shane Lemieux pass blocking for Daniel Jones. That's not something that needs to happen.
And then another potential route for the Giants is edge, the vid I put out today, which, by the way, guys, was not me saying we should draft the edge at 11, was just me giving my thoughts on the fact that the Giants have been scouting a bunch of edge and linebackers, all right? Yeah. But yeah, so what about that option? What made you say, no, I'm not going to go edge?
Because I feel like we could get a good edge in the second round or even third. Like, I feel like
do we need to get – I mean, this has been my entire, like, not argument, but my entire place on the whole edge thing. I was like, we don't need to get one this offseason.
Yeah. I feel like we need to get edge in the second round. In my opinion, Jalen Phillips has a small chance to fall to 42, and if he does, you pick him up.
Not anymore, in my opinion. Not after his pro day. Like, before his pro day, I would agree with you. After his pro day, the dude literally had one of the best, edge pro days, or just in general for this offseason pro days out there.
Yeah, and I feel like I like Parsons, but I'm not going to get into that right now because your channel's monetized. Mm-hmm. But I think, I mean, I'm not being mean. It is a hand time, so his 40 time was probably more like to early 4 or 5s, because hand time is not the same as what they do with the combine. It's different. So I don't think it was a 4.39 because he's a bigger dude, but I think it was still fast. I do think Parsons.
Yo, I'm sorry. I just looked into the chat and the Bobby dude came back and he said, "I'm done. Please don't ban me." And he gets immediately banned. That was funny to me, but yeah, go on. He gets immediately banned. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's why you don't do that stuff, Bobby. Especially not in my chat either. I feel like I want to say it straight up. Parsons has the potential to be a first ballot Hall of Fame linebacker.
Yeah, he does.
I believe that. But I just don't want that stuff on our team.
I agree. But I will say this, Logan. If Judge is with it, then I'm completely fine with it. Because he goes through all the characters checks.
Mm-hmm. I just don't want another DeAndre Baker situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like people are also sleeping on Zaven Collins a little bit.
Who was the guy that the Giants are going to be taking a look at either this Thursday or Friday? For those of you that don't know, didn't get a chance to check out my vid today, the Giants will be going to Tulsa's pro day either this Thursday or Friday. And, of course, the biggest player there is going to be the linebacker, Zaven Collins.
Yeah. Zaven Collins is like 260, I think. That's a big linebacker.
Is he 260? Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Really 260? Yeah, he is 260. Wow, he's a big boy. But I would not, and I said this in the vid too, I would not mind, honestly, if the Giants take him at 11. I know it's a bit of a reach, but my whole argument is we've done such a good job in free agency that we kind of have a little bit of luxury with the pick. I wouldn't be mad with taking a player as long as they're supposed to go in the first round. But let me get your last thought there, Logan.
Sorry, real quick. Mike Nixon just said not because Nate's been blocking the dude. He said not, Nate. He must pay for his sin.
Mike is hardcore, yo.
All right, thanks.
Ligma, you better not be trolling me, bro. Ligma.
What?
I swear to God, you better not be trolling me, bro.
Hell, I don't want that to happen.
Ligma. I'm on Twitter. I looked up Watson. Nothing came up. All right? Nothing came up. Now I'm looking up Deshaun Watson on Twitter. Nothing came up. Nothing came up. Okay, Ligma, thank you for trolling me, bro. But yeah, before that, I was gonna say this man said Watson traded to Washington. Ligma, you better be careful you don't catch a ban. Oh wait, he's a mod. Why did I make you a mod, bro? But yeah, go on, Logan. Let me get your last thought, man.
Sub up the hub if you like to. My channel is Logan's Giant Zone. I just put out actually a Chai Surratt film breakdown with Benny like less than 2 hours ago.
Oh, look at this man putting out film breakdowns. I don't even do that.
And
that's cool.
A few days ago, I did a film breakdown of Aziza Jalari with Viz. So those are fun. So if you like to, you can go check those videos out. But sub up the hub. Thanks for having me on, bro.
No problem, Logan. Have a good one, man, guys. Go over there, check out Logan's Giant Zone. Next up, I'm gonna quickly list who the next 3 people is gonna be. It's gonna be the legend Mizrahi, then Aaron Concepcion. I might be pronouncing that wrong. I apologize, man. And then Nate from Nate Talks Giants. So with that being said, let's get the absolute legend in here. What up, Miz? How you doing, bro? Oh, you're muted, by the way. Still muted. Still muted. Oh, it says your mic isn't connected.
How you doing, man?
Oh, there you are. What's up, man? Miz, you there? You there? Your video's gone. Now it's back. Hello?
Yeah, you got me?
I can hear you. It's kind of coming in and out. Your mic's muted again. Miz, if you can hear me, I'm gonna switch you out just so you can figure out the technical stuff. And I'm gonna have Aaron on, then I'm gonna bring you back in after Aaron, and we'll see if the technical stuff is solved, man. So we're gonna bring Aaron in for now. Aaron, what's up, man? How you doing?
Oh my God, I just saw my profile picture. I do not like it at all. Dude,
Everybody
that's like
has a
5 years
moment
old.
where I was about to say, like, everybody has like an old profile picture that they don't like, man.
Dude, I didn't even realize on my YouTube since I was like 17. I think you're like 17 years old. Well, what's up, man? How you doing? Good. It's good to talk to you. I've been hitting you up on Instagram a couple of times. I don't know if you remember.
Was it you that asked me tonight if there was a call-in show?
Yeah, that's me.
What up, man? Nice to put a face to the name.
Yeah, definitely, man. Sorry, my girlfriend. I'm just picking her up at work, so I'm in the car, so it's a little hard to talk. But I just wanted to get in here real quick. Just say, man, I'm really a fan of the channel. You know, everything that you're doing. I've been paying attention to the streams and everything, and it's real cool.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You guys make the channel. I continue to say it. If there's nobody watching and nobody supporting, there's no channel, man.
Yeah, but yeah, let's talk Giants real quick, man. You know, Daniel Jones, in my opinion, man, he has so much potential, and if they don't go O-line, in my opinion, in this draft, man, he's gonna struggle. I mean, they got Kenny Golladay and all of that, but it's like
you need somebody to protect up there.
Yeah, you know, and what I was gonna say, I was thinking about this earlier today. Yeah, they need edge rusher and they need someone to get after the quarterback, but you know, they got Leo Williams, which he can do, you know, block shedding for the run and, you know, pass rush.
Mhm.
And with having him like be the centerpiece of the defense, he can definitely like make everyone else around him better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when they signed, what is him, Shelton?
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody was like, "Oh, he's just a run stuffer," and I'm like, you know, honestly, if you put him next to Leo and put him next to other people, you know, good players, he can definitely step up. He could, you know, you got to double team Leo sometimes, and he has to step up.
I'll say this though, Aaron. I don't think people were necessarily maybe saying when they say he's just a run stuffer, they were saying it as a bad thing because I think that's what he was brought in for, to just be a nose tackle that stuffs the run. But what do you think?
Well, what I'm saying is like, yeah, he's definitely good at that. You know, we've seen him do it for, you know, how many different teams now, but adding him next to Leo, I feel like will make him better because they have to focus so much on Leo now that it can open up his ceiling.
Okay, yeah, I feel you. And I mean, I think that I could be wrong, but I think that he's gonna be brought in only on rundowns, and maybe the pass rushing package we run at D line might be Afidi, Dexter in the middle, and Leo on the other side. Like I could see us just rotating guys throughout whatever the game requires, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with that. I just saw a whole bunch of comments. You know, you see everybody bashing the Giants all the time about all their signings and stuff like that. So I just figured I'd mention it, you know.
Mm-hmm. What else? What do you think about our other free agent signings and whatnot? Anybody else? I mean, well, other than like the big ones, the Golladay and whatnot.
You know, I'm a huge Giants fan. I mean, obviously we know that, but I've always seen them go for the big players and sometimes no-name players, and you're like just left wondering, oh, are they gonna do good or not? So I feel like I'm kind of there because we always have so much hype every season, and we kind of like get let down a little bit. So I'm just trying to, you know, take it with a grain of salt, everything that they're doing. But you know, so far, like,
how excited are you?
I'm excited. I was just gonna say, man, I did not like Gettleman his first year, and when he traded Odell, I cried. You know,
A lot of fans did, including
but
myself. I just didn't do it on camera.
exactly, yeah. But yeah, he definitely turned it around. I don't know who said what to him, but he was like, "Oh, say less. I'm gonna turn around right now."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, I'm really excited for the upcoming season.
What do
Now
you what do you
17 games.
what are you expecting from the defense? Because the defense got better, and it was already a top
Oh
10 defense last year.
yeah, definitely. You know, that's when I was mentioning the pass rush. I feel like they can add like a couple people to like the third or fourth round and not have to use high traffic sound pass rush, and they'll be good. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because they'll be locks on safety corner, and
Our
linebackers as
secondary
well.
is
So
our secondary is elite now. We've always had a really good defensive line. Like this defense is gonna be really good, man.
yeah, I have my high hopes right now. So I'm just like, I hope everybody stays healthy because pretty much everybody that they signed right now has a history of some injuries. So I'm hoping
Mm-hmm.
everybody can really get on board and stay healthy for the season.
And then what are you expecting from the offense, since that was the part of the team that needed the most improvement?
Man, the offensive line really needs to be addressed. Like, it's been literally that was the biggest issue of the team for the past since they got Odell.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe before Odell in 2014. It's been like such a liability. So I mean, if they could really get a couple good old linemen, I think that that'll be good. I think they should really go O line with their first pick because that's literally the biggest hole. And without that O line, you see Jones, man, he's all over the place and fumbling, and it's half his fault, half the O line, in my opinion. And
Mm-hmm.
then his turnovers, man, I like Evan Engram, but he's making Daniel Jones look worse than what he really is too.
Real quick, Duran Osman, what's up, bro? He's a member, so shout out to Duran. I want to know. I had to go in because when this Bobby guy was coming in, and and you guys were banning him, I just wanted to make sure there was nobody banned on community that shouldn't be banned. And Duran Osman was banned for some reason. Guys, what? Don't ban my members. They're my members. I don't know what reason you would have to do it. Shout out to Duran, man. Once again, thank you for joining the membership. You were banned. That is not because of me, man. I want to let you know. I mean, like, other people have been banned as well that I had to unblock. Like, Cognac. Cognac isn't in here right now, but there's been dudes that just that shouldn't be banned that are, man. So Duran, I apologize. I apologize for it, bro. I'm not skipping over your super chat, Glockroach. I'm not doing it. I'm going to read it right now. But I'm going to censor it. Shout out to Glockroach for the $2 super chat. I appreciate the monetary support. Says which Giants players has the most love in his life? Leonard
Golden
Williams,
Tate.
bro. You see that here, bro? See that here?
When Golden Tate was on the Giants, I think it might have been.
Golden Tate. All right.
Yeah,
Yo,
the
Duran,
whole
man,
story.
I really do apologize for that, bro. That wasn't me, man. But I'm gonna say Leo because of the main, bro. Yeah, it wasn't today. It was probably earlier, guys. But whatever the case is. But yeah, Aaron, what's your next question, though, man?
Oh no, I was just saying, like, Evan Engram, man, he was making Jones just look so much worse than what he really is. And I was saying if Pitts was there to get him, but I mean they address so many other positions. It's like there's no point at that. I don't think. I really think they need to go O-line, and they could really take off this year.
Like, I mean, I agree with you, right? Like, O-line is a lot of people's number one right now, just because it's like, yo, just stay up there, just finally fix it, and let's see this line roll. We could still get a weapon in the third or the second. We could still get an edge in the second or the third if they really want to. I feel like O-line, if you look at the way they address free agency, is like one of two positions that they didn't really attack. It was O-line and edge, but I've always been on the case of we can survive without the edge. We survived without the edge last year. You know what I mean? So let's go and get that O-lineman.
Right, exactly. And if you could get the O-line to block for Saquon, and Saquon's running, then that opens up the pass. Then you got Golladay out there. I mean, that's the O-line has got to be number one for me.
Mm-hmm. No, I feel you a lot on that one. And then
yeah, man.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, what's your last thoughts before I pop you out?
Yeah, guys, make sure you hit that like button and keep supporting this guy. He's pretty cool.
Thank you, bro. I'll talk to you later, man. Have a good one. Thank you for calling in.
For sure, man. Take it easy.
Next up, Nate, do you still want to pop in real quick? Because it looks like Miz got his things fixed. I'm gonna pop you in real quick, Nate. This better be quick before I pop you out.
Not trying to cut the line or anything. Just quick thing, everyone in chat. We all know he's still here. Just everyone, don't be giving him all the attention he wants. I will be watching chat, and as soon as he keeps making new accounts, I will keep hiding them. Trust me, I will have more fun hiding them than he will have making them. So just everybody, let me handle it. The more attention you give a piece of crap like him, the more he's going to enjoy being here, and the more difficult it's going to be to get rid of him. So just let me handle it. And Bobby, I know you're listening. Reevaluate your life choices. That's it.
Thank you, Nate. Hey, Nate coming in as a mod because he is a mod. I appreciate that for the troll that's been in here tonight. And the rant saying there's a certain fan paranoia because of how long the online has been trash, like for over a decade. You right on that, the rant. Miz, you in here? You good, man?
What's up, brother?
You there? What's up,
Let's
bro?
go, man. I got the Wilson. Sorry about that before.
No problem. Where you going?
I don't know much about Bobby, but he sounds a lot like Stephen A. Smith. You know what I mean? Listen, just a real quick one. Not what I wanted to go into, but real fast to this Giants fan base, and you guys know how I am, man. Stop listening to the ESPN circus crew. There's 4 clowns at a table, and let me tell you what they're doing.
And FS1 too.
The Giants are one of the biggest fan bases in the country. New York City, New Jersey, Connecticut. Listen, that's where they're going for their ratings. Let's piss the Giants off, and the Giant fans are going to respond and keep following us. Those aren't real football people there, man. The only guy I could take seriously there is Rex Ryan. So everybody take it with a grain of salt and just know we're going to have our laugh by Thanksgiving next season. I promise you that.
By Thanksgiving?
I promise you that.
All right.
All right? So stop listening to Stephen A. Listen, that's what he does. He's put on TV to rant and get people going. He's good
same with Skip Bayless. Like, listen, in a weird way, I respect Skip because he's a professional troll. That's what he's paid to do.
Yeah.
He's paid to get people riled up and to get them to tune in.
And isn't he a Cowboy fan?
Yeah.
So, all right. At least he comes out with that and he's honest. I do like Sharp, though. I listen to Sharp. I like guys who played football for a lot of years. They know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a couple. I purposely didn't go into Collins because I saw you went into him today, and I know you're gonna put something about him this week, so I stayed out of that. I wanted to, but I saw earlier that you spoke about him. So
now you know what, bro? You got the green. You got the go ahead if you want to, man.
No, I'm good. I didn't go into him. I'm leaving that for you, my man. But,
thank you.
I wrote down 3 guys here today, and I studied them. A couple guys that maybe people want to look into. Forget the first round. We went over that already. The Giants, listen, real briefly, the Giants could go past Russia. We know the names. Or the Giants, if Slade is there, and the kid was onto something there. I'm a little worried the Cowboys might take Slater, only because they know the Giants want him.
Also because their O-line was bad last year too.
Their O-line is getting old and it's cracking. So, but their secondary is a joke. So listen, that's up to them. They could use a defensive tackle, a real one also. But we could go Slater at 11 if he's there, and we could double up in the second round and go another offensive lineman. Or we're gonna go past Russia and then offensive lineman. But a couple of names I wanted to give guys out there, like I always do. I throw somebody out there. You probably heard of him. Landon Dickerson, sent to Alabama, right? This guy's a beast. He's a, and I heard Jeff Fiegels today leaked his name, okay, and said that the Giants would be looking into him, and
as they should. He's one of the best centers in the class.
He's a beast. He might be there 42 around. He might go a little bit earlier. He would have went in the top 25, but he suffered a knee injury last year. The thing I don't like about him, he's had 4 season-ending injuries in the last 5 seasons. That's got to worry you. I don't know what to tell you. And then, but you listen, the 4 times we won the Super Bowl, we've always had an elite center. And everyone's worried about, like, this guy, that guard, this tackle. And I think the real reason why the Giants haven't been able to put this O-line together the last few years is that we have not gotten a real deal center. I'm talking about an elite center.
So you don't believe in Nick Gates then?
Listen, Nick Gates did real well last year, but he's not a career elite center. Now, if you go get an elite center in the second or third round, or you trade up into the late second round to grab a center that you like, you can move Nick Gates back over to guard, and now you have a real deep offensive line.
Yeah, you know what?
I believe
That
in
right
Lemieux,
there,
but he needs time.
That right there, Miz, I agree with. That's one thing I've been entertaining a lot. I don't know how I feel about shifting Gates so much, but honestly, like really honestly, if we draft a center and move him to right guard, and he is good at right guard, like that's a good line right there.
Listen, Nick Gates is feisty enough that wherever they ask him to go, he's gonna try to be his best at, and he's gonna be a feisty guy anyway. He's feisty, he's physical, but you get a real deal center, okay? It will connect the entire O-line. When the Giants won 2 Super Bowls in the 80s and 90s, I believe they had Bart Oates, one of the best in the league. When the Giants won their last few Super Bowls, right? I believe it was O'Hara.
Was it O'Hara? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Real centers. We haven't had a real center here in a long time. And I know we were about to draft one last year, but the Cowboys jumped in front of us. So the Giants should go out and really look. I would look into a center or second round. It wouldn't be a bad choice. Again, I know the young fans won't love it, but listen, we're trying to build a championship here. Okay, I'm not about the fan. You want fantasy? Go turn on the red zone. I don't know what to tell you, man. That ain't for me, man. I'm looking for a real championship football team, and I don't think we're that far off. A couple of pieces, and I think a center. Not only you get a big time center to connect the O-line, but then you could take a piece that you have playing center when he shouldn't be there, and you move him over, and you just deepen your line. You now have a real O-line. And if you did go Slater at 11 and a center like Dickerson in the second round, imagine the O-line we have. We're set up for years.
If you do that, we have one of the deepest O-lines because then you're moving Lemieux and to basically backups. That is really deep.
So now I looked at it like that. If you want to double up on the O-line, we would be done with the O-line. We're ready to go. And then I went over to this other player that you could get in the third. I think it's a third-round value. I don't know if you heard of him. Defensive end linebacker Patrick Jones at the University of Pitt.
I know Patrick Jones, yeah. And real quick, before you give your thoughts on him, the Ryan says the 2021 defensive ranking, are you going over or under the 2016 defense? I think it's going to be over. I think we're going to be better than the 2016 defense. What do you think?
Oh, this Giants defense?
Yeah.
That Giants defense was good, man. But I'll say this. Will they be ranked? This Giants defense for the long haul, the next few years is better. That was the 1 year wonder bread. You know what I mean? We're building
100%.
right here for a nice 5-6 year run. This defense is going to stay intact a long time. So that's it. I don't have much to say about him. He's a defensive
Oh, you don't have
end.
much to say about Patrick Jones?
He's a pass rusher out of Pitt. You could get him in the third, fourth round, probably third. And the guy's tall. He plays long. He's a pass rusher. He's also good against the run. He seems to be really smart with his instincts. He doesn't fall for the fake handoff or quick handoff. He's on it. I watched the highlights. I watched him. So
what do you think about his motor?
Listen, he reminds me very much of a young Golden, the guy we let go to Arizona, who came from Arizona. He looks and plays a lot like him. And then the third guy is another offensive lineman. This guy's flying under the radar. I think he's a tackle, but he could play guard. Tevin Jenkins, Oklahoma State. This is a big offensive lineman. Another guy the Giants could look at. If they didn't get who they wanted, they might be able to grab him in the third round, maybe. So I'm giving
second, third guy right there. Second or third, yeah.
Second or third, maybe the Giants. Listen, I heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true. I don't want to throw it out there. But the Giants, don't think that the Giants are 100% keeping Ingram. I heard Judge likes him. If the Giants could offer an Ingram and a third rounder to go back up into the middle or early second round, they will. You know what I mean? And that's how you use Ingram. You package him along with a pick so you could go up and get a difference maker.
Yeah.
So instead of getting a fourth rounder for Ingram, you package him up with a third, and you go back up into the top 15 of the second round.
Who would you get there with that top 15?
If we got another pick for the second round, it really depends who we got in the first 2 rounds. If you tell me
You're right.
you got an O lineman at 11. Say we got Slater at 11.
Yeah.
And you get a pass rusher at 42. Let's just say a pass rusher at 42.
Then what do you do with the second pick?
With the second pick, that's when the Giants can play around a little. If there's a real good center again, I think you grab him. But if not, and you want to play around and get a toy, that's when you grab your receiver or maybe even a good running back. Because we have to start thinking about helping Barkley.
That high for a running back. At least in this year's class is what I mean.
I was thinking 4th round, but if you got an extra pick, unless there's someone you have an idea of, and that's why you made, like I said, the center would be the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know if we're going to grab another linebacker. If we get a linebacking pass rusher at 11, we're not going to go with another one.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And shout out to Glock Roach for the $2 super chat. And I agree with this super chat. He says, I would pay to play the Eagles week 1. Give me them birds. Man, Miz, when I tell you I want to get them week 1 on like Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football or something, bro, just to bury them into the ground, man.
I'm not even worried about the Eagles. We're going to destroy them twice this year. They got
that's why I want to see it, because you know what they did to us week 17. We got to get that revenge.
Don't think Judge won't have that all over the chalkboard. And don't think Judge will not have the videos of ESPN abusing us right now. A week leading up to the first game, he's going to play that for these guys. Trust me, Judge knows exactly what he's... Has there been a coach in a long time that you have so much confidence in? Because I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so confident in this guy. He's going to have the guys ready.
And it's not a coincidence either. It's not a coincidence that he's similar to our 2 most successful ones in Coughlin and Parcells. Like, it's not a coincidence, I think.
Dude, you heard Parcells and Belichick both big him up. That's all you need, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need. Parcells doesn't talk often. When he says this guy's the guy, I like him. That's all you need to know, man. I can't wait for draft night, man. I'm so excited. This kid we picked up yesterday, by the way, Sheldon.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you the best thing about him, and I already put a comment in there, so a lot of you probably notice. This guy, he's a big hippo. He's gonna stop the run. We know that.
We got a lot of beef on that line now.
Oh, we have the deepest defensive tackle crew in the league, maybe. And I love it. The thing he's gonna do, it continues. He's not Tomlinson, but he continues to allow Leo to rush the passer freely.
Mm-hmm.
Bang! And that's why we pay this guy the money.
100%. I agree with you. That's why I said, I'm like, don't expect Dalvin Tomlinson level of play, but you're going to get similar side effects of it, for like what you had from Dalvin Thompson. And he's such a perfect replacement for him too. Like, I think he's big. He's bigger than Thompson, right? Because he's like 350. How much was Thompson? Let me look that up real quick. I think he's even bigger.
This guy weighs 342. Okay, he's a tugboat.
Oh, Dalvin was like 320. This guy's huge. It's absolutely massive.
Listen, let's not say, we brought him in and we made up for. We didn't make. Tomlinson was a nasty player, and I'm not saying he's Tomlinson, but he does exactly what we needed. He fills a cheap role. He takes out the run. He allows Leo to continue running from different places.
And don't forget about Dexter too.
Dexter. You got B.J. Hill. You got the other kid. I forget his name that we picked up from Tennessee last year. We still got him.
Austin Johnson. Yeah, we brought him back too.
Rotating, my man. And we might pick up one in the middle rounds again. You don't know. But the thing is, imagine, let's just say we draft Parson at 11, and I don't agree with the kid before me, and you already know that. I don't like.
You're a big Parsons.
I don't want a Parsons because I don't need that on my team. Let me tell you something. You need that on your. I don't want to curse. You need that on your team. So what are you saying? We didn't need Lawrence Taylor on the team? Did you see what he did for us? 2 Super Bowls. All right? So don't say you don't need the guy, and don't say a guy can't clean his act up under the right coaching staff in a big-time organization. We know he can. He's not a Baker. Baker was a moron. This guy's not. It's very different. You have a Parsons on this team. I'm not saying we're drafting him because I think Denver's going to take him at 9. I got a feeling, but
why? Why do you feel that, though?
I don't know. I just got a feeling Denver's going to – because Von Miller's getting old and they need another leader to that defense. Mm-hmm. And it makes sense. But the thing is, it's not for sure. But let's say we do draft Parsons at 11. If it's there and Judge wants him, do you realize what this guy Sheldon does? That allows Martinez and Micah Parsons to run wild, untouched. That's what a guy like that does for you.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's what the defensive line does for you.
that's what I'm saying about this big guy we got. That's what he's gonna do, man. You can't get your hands on the second level of the linebackers because you got too many big guys up front to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so listen, our defense is gonna be for real, man. I don't see how we're not top 5. I don't want to jump and say, oh, we're gonna be number 1. We could be, but
Nah, Miz, I agree with you. We're gonna be top 5. And obviously we gotta see it on the field. We gotta see the product come together. But I got such confidence in them, man.
that's why I want one more big guy on the edge because I know Carter's coming back and Exhibitors. But if you get that real number 1 guy on the other side, man, with this secondary that can hold receivers an extra second or a second and a half, that makes the world of a difference, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't run on our interior.
You
So
can't
how are you dealing
right
with this
right now,
defense?
and you could call it Giants you could Giants what you call it bias, right? But in my opinion, you can't run on us, and you're gonna have a real hard time passing on us.
Yeah. And then what helps the defense? What's the defense's best friend? A running game. And I'm pretty sure if Barkley's healthy, we're gonna have a ground game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I like Smith and Rudolph. I'm telling you, they could block, man. It's like having extra linemen. And we picked up. Do we still got Penny?
Eli Penny, no, because I think he's gonna be replaced with the fullback we picked up. By the way, shout out to Joseph. Thank you for tuning in.
That fullback will be 3rd and 1 or goal line situations. You're gonna see a 2-3 tight end package with a fullback. We're gonna be going jumbo.
Mm-hmm.
I love that type of football, baby. That's like I'm telling you, the Eagles, yo, we're running the ball up your throat right now. Stop us, and you still can't. We're gonna run right over you.
The best defensive line, or what people say is the best defensive line in the East, Washington football. We consistently run on them, and now we're gonna get even better on the offensive line. Can you imagine how much more we're gonna run on them?
And that's one of the things why Slater is in my head so much because he showed in his college days that he dominated Chase. And you get a guy that could handle Chase for the next decade. That's huge, man, because listen, yo, Chase Young is a beast, man. You got a guy that can put him at bay?
We already have a guy that dominates Chase. Andrew Thomas dominated Chase Young at the high school level, at the college level, and both games that he played against him, Chase Young couldn't sniff us.
Yo, I like Thomas. I never said a bad thing about him. Give a man time, man. People today don't give time to grow.
Mm-hmm. But no, I'm just saying. He legitimately dominates Chase Young, and it's funny because he's done it at high school, college, and now NFL.
Listen, you don't got to tell me. I'm not telling you because I'm a Giant fan. Thomas is still the best guy out of those 4 that was drafted, and people are going to see it. Give it time.
Mm-hmm.
But add Slater to this line, I'm with it. And if they want to go Edge or Parsons or an Aziz, I get it also. We'll get someone in the second round. Yo,
exactly.
It's deep.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I don't want to take your whole day. You know I love coming on and talking to you guys.
Miz, drop your channel name in the chat right now. You got some new fans. I could confirm it.
I will. I love you guys. Thank you. I'm not the biggest guy at doing a video every day, but something goes down. Listen, I had to hold myself back this morning. Listen to these idiots on TV, man.
You got it, bro. I'm telling you. Bro, you gotta stop.
Hated.
You're gonna lose brain cells if you keep listening to them.
I don't listen to. That's why I left it alone. I go to the gym. Here's the thing, man. When you're hated, you are officially relevant. People need to look at that. Yo, the Giants are a team people are worried about. I spoke to a Cowboy fan last night. Big Cowboy fan, lives in Texas, season ticket holder, and he told me straight up, a lot of Cowboy fans don't realize this Giants team is dangerous. He said, and the Cowboys have a lot of cracks in their team, and he's worried about it. And he admitted it, man. This is a grown man. He admitted it. I didn't have to say anything. So listen, they know we're coming. We're coming. And when we get there, you watch all these clowns on ESPN. They're going to hop on the ship.
Of course they are.
I told you the Giants are going to be good. Oh, look what Joe Judge is. You see, Stephen A's already got an out. I like Joe Judge. I could see him being good. He always plays it 2 ways, you know? So, dude, it's all good. The guy I don't like the most is Max Kellerman.
Because Max is a Giants fan, quote unquote.
I know, a Giant fan that as soon as Stephen A stares at him, he melts like ice cream. And I hate that, man. Stick to what you said 6 days ago.
Yeah, exactly. Max flip-flop, man.
Love you guys. I'm going to put the link in. Check my stuff out whenever I actually did a Jets thing today. I don't know if you saw it. I did a video for the Jet fans. I have friends that are Jet fans. They've been asking me to do it. So I did a little something.
So you know what?
Try to soup it up.
You know what, Miz, before you go, drop it in, the private chat of StreamYard. Drop the link there, and then I'll post it into the live chat.
No problem. That'll be the first and the last Jets thing you ever see me do. So, listen, be good, guys. Be good, brother.
Thank you, man. Have a good one. Miz, as usual, bringing in the energy. Y'all need to go check out his channel, man. Great guy, great supporter. Have a good one, Miz. And shout out to DJ Smooth for the $2 super chat. How can I get on your show? Well, I'm assuming you find the link because I see you in the waiting room right here. But thank you for the support, my man. And then shout out to Max Webster for the $2 super chat. He says, "Love Miz, real energy. Hit me up on Twitter, man." And then with the members emoji helmet that StreamYard doesn't show, but you guys see it in the chat anyway. Next up, we got Nate, then Ash Money Records, then Mark, then Harrison. Harrison, I really hope you don't troll, and then DJ Smooth. So Nate, what's up, man? How you doing? You're muted.
My bad.
There
I'm
you
doing
go.
Good. How you doing?
I'm good, man.
I'm just sticking it out in quarantine, man. This sucks. I hate this.
Contact tracing, right?
Yep. Fucking friend of mine. I have no idea where he got it. He doesn't know where he got it. And yet here he is, fever of like 102. Hope he's feeling better. But I am now stuck here for 2 weeks, which is
You're in your
terrible.
own room, right?
No, I'm just in my house because my parents are both vaccinated. So
Okay, bet.
I'm just floating around the house, trying not to go absolutely insane. Might
Shout
go
out
stir
to
crazy.
Engraven, and you
Yeah.
got a fan from Engraven, Nate.
Nice. You might see me on the news. I might have gone stir crazy, hijacked a car. You never know. So I'm just trying to keep myself in check. I need some more Giants news to keep me sane here. And speaking of keeping me sane, just be understanding. I'm gonna keep looking down so I can just continue to absolutely kick Bobby's ass. He keeps making these accounts, and I am sniping him 2 comments in. This man got to step up his game. I'm crushing him right now.
But go ahead with the Giants then. What are you trying to talk?
Yeah. So for me, like, there's a lot of stuff that Miz said that I agree with, and a lot of stuff I kind of disagree with. For one, in terms of Nick Gates, I just want to keep him at center, and I think there's a difference between like shifting around things that aren't established to try and find what works, and then shifting things that do work and are established. You never want to be moving stuff around on an offensive line once it's solidified and once you have something that's working. That's the point where you want to just kind of let it sit, let it go, let it do its work. And that's where I think we are with Nick Gates. After his first season at center, you can clearly see he's going to be a solid anchor for this offensive line. I just want to let him sit there. I'd rather get another guard instead of drafting a center. There's plenty of guards in this class, or there's plenty of tackles that could very easily convert to guard. And he mentioned one, which is Tevin Jenkins. Tevin Jenkins is a monster. The only reason people say he could convert to guard is because he has shorter arms, which I still think he's a perfectly good tackle prospect. I think he's a really great tackle prospect. Top 4 in this class for me. Also, Miz, I appreciate the optimism. He is not going to be there round 2 or 3. That's not happening.
I was muted for a second. You think Tevin's going in the late first then?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, then.
And just in general, I think, back to Nick Gates for a second, there's so much to his game that screams center, too. He's got the mean streak. He brings the juice on the offensive line. The old saying from whoever the fuck said it first. It's all over sports, specifically in the trenches in a football team. If you're juiceless, you're useless. And Nick Gates brings the juice every game, every down, every snap. He plays every snap just like Joe Judge said in his first conference, like it has a life and a meaning of its own. He brings it every time. He's got a mean streak, which is something you need to be a center. You got to have a mean streak if you want to be a center in the National Football League. He's got one. He's ready for a street fight every snap, which I love. So I just think Nick Gates is the kind of center I want on my football team. I think he's the one he's the archetype of center I want on this football team. So I don't really want to move him. I understand certainly the argument for people that do. I get that there's some good center prospects in this draft that you maybe want to get. Totally understand. And it's not that I'll be mad if we do. It's just not my first course of action.
Okay, I hear where you're coming from. I'm actually a little bit surprised that you're saying he might go round 1. I always thought he was a second-round guy.
Oh, no.
I guess you're thinking that more teams are going to draft offensive linemen than we expect. Then who do you think he could go to, possibly?
Well, for me, it's not even that more teams than we think are going to draft offensive linemen. It's that he is a very, very, very good offensive lineman. I think he's going to go before a lot of tackles that people might not expect. And more accurately, I think he should go for a lot of tackles a lot of people might not expect. And I say that because Tevin Jenkins is such a multifaceted player. He's complete. He's got so many sides to his game that are already developed. Technically, he's excellent. Obviously, I'm not trying to be that guy, but Brett Coleman did a video where he explains it in much better depth than I ever could, just in terms of technique and hand usage and all this great stuff that you can't get without film angles and years of experience. So go watch that and you'll understand what I'm talking about when I say technique. He uses his hands so beautifully. And then he's also got, in combination with that technique, plenty of athleticism and explosiveness in his kick set. And then on top of that pass blocking ability, which is top tier, he's a mauler in the run game, which comes back to that meanness, which is what Tevin Jenkins is. He's a bully. So I think Tevin Jenkins is just a really, really good lineman. Not so much that I think a lot of teams are going to draft offensive tackles in the first, probably no more than usual. But if someone is, he's going to be high on the board.
Okay, I completely hear where you're coming from, man. 100%. Where do you say his strongest game is? Or is he just a well-rounded guy?
I'll say pass blocking, just because when you watch his film, I'm still kind of a novice, I would say, just as a fan in general. It's just where I would probably place myself. But even as someone who has not studied the game for 20 years and is not an offensive line coach and does not know every little detail and every small thing, hey, Hub, you got there before I could. I'm too busy talking to you.
Yeah, no, I want you to continue. That's why I took care of it.
Thank you. I appreciate you doing my job for me. Also, can you get him completely off your channel?
There's no way to do it if he's continuing
he's
to
not?
make
Okay.
accounts.
Gotcha. My bad, though. If you could keep doing that, that'd be awesome so I can focus on you for a
Yeah.
second. But just in general, I'd probably say it's so easy, even as a novice fan, to see what he dominates in the pass game. So I'll probably say in pass sets because, my God, the pancakes he's flipping on the griddle out there on the outside. Unbelievable. He is so impressive when you watch his film. It's very easy for prospects to be like sort of nerd favorites, where we see something that we're like really nitpicky about with other prospects and we go, oh, he does this one thing so well. Tevin Jenkins, you just watch him play and you go, wow, on every other snap. He's just always finishing aggressively. So I'm a big Tevin Jenkins fan and supporter.
It almost sounds like you're talking yourself into us drafting him somewhere.
Nah, I'm not 11 high on him. I do think he has some limitations in general. He does get beat every now and then when he tries to get too cute with his hands. He's really technically sound there, but every now and then he gets called on a bluff, and he does get beat. So he's not perfect yet. He's got a ways to go before he's technically sound. And also, I think it would kind of be a shame to move someone with his incredible ability technically to the inside. I think he's just got great potential as a tackle. And if we are going to draft a tackle, I think it's going to be someone to move inside in this draft. Like if we were to draft someone like that, I think it would be someone like Alex Leatherwood to move him to the inside and put him at guard. So personally, I'm not a great Giants fit.
What up,
just a great player. And Alphonics in the building. What's up? And also, quick thing I want to touch on while we're talking about offensive linemen. I am a Northwestern fan, unfortunately. So I watched the Big Ten championship game people are referring to when they say that he kicked Chase Young's ass. He did not. He played very well against Chase Young. I would say he played Chase Young better than anyone else did that year, by far, which is still a huge accomplishment. Chase Young was a beast all year that year, but there was nobody dominating Chase Young. That's fake news right there.
I will say, all right, is it fake news that Andrew Thomas dominates Chase Young? Because I don't think it is. Come on, you're talking 3 levels of football?
No comment.
No comment. No, we need a comment. 3 levels of football, bro. High school, college,
dominates.
and NFL.
Define dominates.
To the point where the dude looks like a regular pass rusher and not what he is, which is a great pass rusher.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, then. Bet.
He makes him look
pedestrian. I don't think it's exactly. He makes him look normal.
Right. Well, when I hear dominate, I hear it makes him
shutting down,
non-existent.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible.
When I hear dominate, I hear eraser, which is not a thing that anyone's gonna do to Chase Young.
Exactly, but yeah, he makes him look like a regular old dude out there coming off the edge, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, so you talked O-line. You know what? Let me ask you this: do you have anywhere that you want to go at 11, or are you just like, man, just whatever?
Well, in terms of that, and you know what? I just remembered. I have something else to say.
Go
Remind me
ahead.
after I talk about what I want to do with the 11. To talk about Daniel Jones for one quick second. But with the 11, I've been struggling with this for the last few days. It's the battle of what my mind knows we should do versus what my heart wants us to do. In my heart, I want Jalen Phillips or Micah Parsons, but my brain knows we should go offensive line. Offensive line is the pick here. I think it just makes too much sense. Every other need except edge, there's such great depth in this class. I don't really think it makes sense to go receiver in the first round. What with the guys in the second and third and fourth you can get, like I don't really think it makes a whole lot of sense to get Jalen Waddle when you can get Elijah Moore 2 rounds later. But then for edges, it's so difficult for me to say that I don't want to draft Jalen Phillips because there's no one else really in this class that's going to offer what he can offer. There's no depth in this edge class whatsoever. But then I start to think, we need offensive line. The defense was already the number 7 in the league in either total yards or total points. I forget which one it was. And then on top of that, we've already added a bunch of great defensive line assets and a linebacker and a number 2 corner that's gonna be the best free agent signing in the bunch, hopefully. So it just makes no sense not to go offensive line logically. And then on top of that, specifically concerning Phillips, the one problem with our offseason thus far has been the old saying, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, you don't look for injuries, they find you. And Jalen Phillips is looking for another injury. So my heart wants Jalen Phillips, the only guy I see in this class who I think is a dominant pass rusher. But my brain knows we should probably be going Rashawn Slater, AVT, trade back, whoever can afford us the best opportunity to get a lineman.
I bet. I hear you. I mean, I'm the same way right now. Offensive line is the way to go if the opportunity presents itself. It's like you said, the one that makes the most sense. And honestly, I've been saying it for months. We can survive without getting an edge because we have survived without getting an edge last year, and we were good. Like, we were 12th in the league in sacks, top 10 in pressures. In my opinion, our pass rush improved. So we should at the very least be similar to what we were last year pass rushing wise. So that's why I'm like, we could afford to not take the edge. And even then, exactly what you say is another thing I've been saying for a while. There is no Chase Young in this class. There is no Nick Bosa, no Joey Bosa. There is no Myles Garrett in this class
No
that's
perfect
worth
prospect.
taking. Yeah, that's like the ultimate edge that you got to take with your first round pick.
Yeah.
So go ahead and talk about Daniel Jones then, since you want to talk about him.
So I said this earlier that I wanted to say something about Daniel Jones, and to correct myself, it's not really about Daniel Jones so much as this is an open statement to Giants fans and football people in general. Daniel Jones is not as bad as people think he is. And I say that not in the way you might be thinking, in the sense of people think he fundamentally isn't good. I think in general, there's this sort of, and I hesitate to use the word stigma, but that's kind of the best word for it, around Daniel Jones. The problem with Daniel Jones and the media narrative surrounding him is that I would argue none of the problems he's had in his first couple of years in the league have been as bad, have been as troublesome as any of the real busts we've seen, first off, to get that out of the way. And then in general, I don't think they've been any worse than any of the problems experienced by most really good quarterbacks in their first couple of years in the league. The problem is his issues are the most easily memeable that you could possibly have. He fumbles. He stumbles on 80-yard touchdown runs. He does all this stuff. He has the Manning face. He doesn't have pocket presence. He runs into sacks. He does all these mistakes that make him look stupid, which makes him such an easy target. And when the media is showing you nonstop highlight packages or blooper packages of Daniel Jones doing the dumbest shit on a football field, that's just the reputation he's going to get. Despite the fact that I would argue the good stuff he's done has outweighed the bad thus far in his career. It's close, but I would optimistically gear toward that. So with that being said, I think it's very easy for people to misunderstand where Daniel Jones is in his career.
Especially fans that are a bit more like casual with watching football,
exactly. Because first off, a lot of those problems, the memeable problems, are on their way to being completely solved. And I forget, I'm going to feel like a jerk here, but I forget who said it, But someone earlier in this very stream said, look at the fumbling issue
Giuliano.
in the last. Yeah, Giuliano said, look at the fumbling issue in the last 8 games versus his entire career. It's looking a lot better. A lot better. Look at the reads. Look at him going through his progressions, leading the offense, recognizing defenses, calling audibles, hitting throws
And that was
outside the numbers.
That one thing you just said, I was the one I was most impressed by. It wasn't the fumbles or anything. I was like, when I saw him comfortably calling audibles during the second half of the season, I was like, oh, he's starting to understand the offense. He's starting to take that next step in terms of progression. I like that.
And through thinking about it a little more, because I haven't quite known why I've sort of been feeling this way about Jones, this optimism despite having bad numbers and glaring issues to fix. I think the reason I've thought that is this, and I know I'm not going to articulate this well because I haven't really thought about how I want to say this, but off the rip, I think it's really, really difficult in most cases to see the potential in a quarterback when he's surrounded by a sinking ship. And Daniel Jones has been surrounded by a sinking ship for his first 2 years.
No, since
right.
Duke.
Since Duke, right? He's had bad receivers. He's had a terrible offensive line for the most part, or at least this year, a very inconsistent offensive line. So with that being said, I think the reason I feel so optimistic is because maybe it's just because I'm watching him every week, but I can still see it in him. It is still very clearly visible, and I don't mean the potential, I mean the improvement. It's really difficult to see the good things a quarterback is doing when he's surrounded by bad. But Daniel Jones is very clearly doing good things consistently and getting better and making improvements and finding more consistency. All the things we want him to do, he's doing. So I think Logan Ryan said it best when he said Daniel Jones has all the tools to be an elite quarterback. What he needs is experience, and experience takes time. So I think now that
I didn't even know Logan Ryan said that, by the way. That's a great quote.
I think now that we've given him a wide receiver 1, a la Plaxico, and now that we're starting to find a little bit more consistency on the offensive line, I'm looking for Daniel Jones to explode this year.
He has to, in my opinion. And shout out to Glock Roach for the $5 super chat. He says, Jones didn't take a step back last year. The offense did. That's on Garrett. Jones improved his turnovers in the second half. I agree with you. I will also say it's not completely on Garrett. It's also on his receivers for getting open and then dropping balls, or for not getting open at all, or for causing a fumble, or for causing an interception. It's also on his line a little bit. That's Mark Colombo, who a lot of people forget. The man's offensive line was so inconsistent. He went through basically 3 line coaches, Colombo, Judge, and then Guglielmo, who didn't even end up returning. So that tells you how that went. So, I mean, there's a lot of things going for him. I'll say that. There's a lot of things going for him. And I agree. DJ improved last year. He did improve last year. It's, once again, you have to go back and look at the second half of the season, but he improved overall last year. Yeah. It's just that, like you said, it's very easy to point out the bad because it's almost like the bad plays are the ones that catches your eye more. Right. Because like you said, it's more memeable. I can't find a good word for it right now for some reason because the word memeable stuck in my head. But it's like
my fault.
They're more noticeable than the good that he's doing.
Yeah, and I do want to talk about the last thing Authentic said, which is Daniel needs some confidence and some luck, and that is so right. I mean, what do we say whenever we talk about what's key for quarterback's development? The situation he's in, and we just talked about how he was on a sinking ship for his first 2 years. He needs some luck, man. Daniel Jones has had some of the most rotten luck every goddamn week. He just can't get a break. I think this year we're setting him up to get some better breaks. I think, hopefully, with Evan Ingram not featuring as the only good weapon we have in this offense
Kyle
now,
Rudolph.
Yeah, hopefully we won't be seeing 6 interceptions that are not Daniel Jones's fault because we're not using Evan Ingram as that it must be him on this play, last play of the game. Who are we going to? Evan Ingram. Since that's not going to happen anymore, please, God, don't let it happen anymore. I really do expect some improvement there.
I will say this: who's going to be the number 1 weapon on this offense? Is it over Barkley? Really?
Yes.
I still think we're going to be a run-first team. That's why I say Barkley.
Oh no, it's not so much that. It's not so much.
That's why I said weapon and not receiving threat or anything like that.
Yeah, sure, and I understand the difference there. It's just in terms of being a weapon, I think I see Kenny Golladay as the guy that's going to be the focal point of this offense. I think this offense is going to run through Kenny Golladay. Very much in the way.
So then we're not going to be run first then.
Don't misunderstand me.
Mm-hmm.
I think we are going to be a run first team, but the run is going to be facilitated by the pass, which is where Kenny Golladay comes in. It's going to be a
Okay.
lot easier for Saquon to have light boxes.
That's going to be a lot different from what we saw last year
Right.
too.
So when I say that, I think sort of a la Michael Thomas to Alvin Kamara type vibes. That's not the best comparison, but I think you understand what I'm saying. Where Alvin Kamara is still the best player on that offense, but without Sir Lancelot there, the offense.
Thank you, Sir
isn't gonna run
Lancelot. I call him
isn't gonna run
Slant
as
Boy.
much.
Sir Lancelot is a great nickname.
Sir Lancelot is my favorite by far. But just in general, as good as Alvin Kamara is, that offense wouldn't really run the same without Michael Thomas, and that's what I think Kenny Golladay is going to be for this.
And another person that's used that comparison before is in the chat, Authentic, and
really?
I'm starting to like it a lot more.
Has he said that?
The
I know he's
no,
compared
he-
Saquon to Kamara.
Yeah, he's used the comparison of Saquon to Kamara is what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm liking now the comparison of the offense in general, where like you
Right.
know the best dude is Saquon, but
And-
the
and
reason
those in the
Kamara's having
chat-
success is because of Thomas.
Those in the chat looking to jump on me, don't be saying the Saints don't run the same offense. I know that's not what I meant.
And shout out to AP for the $5 super chat. He
AP's a
says,
goat, man.
not sold on Jones yet, but man, I'm rooting for him heavy with the way social media clowns him.
Yeah.
DJ breakout plus AP like comeback. He said LOL.
Yeah.
For Saquon would be legend. I'm telling y'all.
Yeah.
And I've been on it so hard. I want to speak it into existence. This man Saquon is going to have one of the best comebacks of all time, bro. Like Joe Judge said, it's going to be one hell of a story when this man comes back on the field.
And
Yo, this is a great one. Slantimus
Prime.
Prime. And I'm a big Transformers fan, so I like that
I know
one.
you are.
Yeah.
I'm
But yeah,
gonna
Nate,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
go
keep
ahead.
rocking with Sir Lancelot, but yeah, first off, AP has been supporting like mad in a bunch of different channels, so shout out to him. He's
Mm-hmm.
rapidly becoming a goat. But yeah, just in general, I expect good things from Jones, and the media narrative is shaped in every way unfairly against him. And as usual, Authentic still in the chat dropping facts, and earlier he said that it really didn't help that he plays in the New York market. And that's absolutely true.
I
So
mean, yeah, I mean,
think-
from the moment he got drafted by us, bro, it was a bad thing for him.
Yeah, pretty
Because
much.
they were already hating on our current quarterback, Eli.
Oh yeah.
So they were just going to transfer that, and they were already in, like, it became cool to hate the Giants, like, I don't know, maybe around 2015, 2016 time. And then it's like it built up into from hating the Giants to hating Eli, and then back to hating the Giants, and then to hating Daniel Jones. And now, since we're kind of getting good again, back to hating the Giants.
And I'll say again, I think, don't misunderstand what I mean here. Don't take this the wrong way. But I think Giants fans just love to be miserable. Giants fans just love complaining. We all love winning. We all love the feeling of a big win. We all love the Seattle games, the Tampa games from last year, that kind of stuff. But I think Giants fans just in general love being miserable. They love having an axe to grind. They love having someone to bash and someone to complain about and someone to rant about. They just love being miserable.
It'd be like that sometimes. Real quick before I let you go, record predictions. I've always had the window of anywhere from 9 to 12 wins.
11-6.
11-6.
11-6.
Okay, I could rock with it. And then real quick, Frankie G, thank you. There's 101 people liking, but well, now it's 67 likes. Get the likes up, guys. Come on now. And I see 10 and 7 in the chat. I'm gonna say the records as they come on. But Nate, thank you for tuning in, man. Thank you for doing a great job as a mod tonight.
Thank you for
Sniping
doing my
the
job
man.
while I was on talking to you.
No problem, bro. I think Harrison dipped. Harrison was gonna be next because he said he had to leave, and then
Yeah, I
he's
saw
like,
that.
never mind.
That's a yikes.
My bad, Harrison. I mean, bro, you should have told me before, I guess. But I was gonna put you on next. You could come back in if you want to. But hey, Nate, thank you for coming on, man. Have a good one. Next up, we got Ash Money Records, sports topics. Oh, my bad, DJ. I added you early, bro. DJ's next, but Ash Money Records, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I just want to check to see if my stuff is working good because I'm on my computer now instead of
Yeah,
my
you
phone.
You good?
But before we get into sports topics, you good, bro? Good on Twitter,
Bro, what are you talking about?
bro? I just wanted to see if you was good, bro. I seen some stuff on
I'm-
Twitter scrolling.
I'm good, bro. I'm perfectly
All right.
fine on Twitter. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, what is this dude talking about, chat? What is he talking about?
Now you don't know what I'm talking about,
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
bro.
so
I see
obviously,
me
I
under
don't know.
some tweets, bro. I'm just
What are you? I am. All I do on Twitter is talk football, occasional basketball. I had to put down some Carmelo slander today.
from
You know what I
Carlo.
mean? And and I tweet out my vids, bro. That's all I do on Twitter. Sometimes the occasional meme. but that's it.
Coward's daughter, man. But we're not going to get into that. But speaking of Twitter, I basically got like attacked today. Like, I'm kind of conflicted about this whole offensive line thing, and I know the narrative for Giants fans now was like, we need to build this offensive line or solidify it, right?
Mhm.
But here's my thing: like, literally, most Giants fans, and if Authentics is still in here, we see eye to eye on this. Gettleman didn't draft a receiver in all 7 rounds last year, all 7 rounds. But why were fans, why were they not that mad? Because he took 3 offensive linemen, and what? Like, he took Thomas, Pert, and Lemieux.
Mhm.
And he should have been arrested for
What up,
robbery,
Simon?
taking Xavier McKinney because
And Darnay, both Xavier McKinney and Darnay Holmes were robbery to me.
And so my thing is, like, y'all do realize continuity on the offensive line is important, right? Like, and the reason why I'm conflicted is, like, at some point we got to just keep this offensive line and have faith in our coaching staff and Judge to like really coach them up, because halfway through the season they were playing good, but you only give that offensive line as a unit halfway through the season just to replace somebody. But then Rashawn Slater, this is kind of, well, not really a hot take, but don't be surprised if Rashawn Slater is going to be a better offensive lineman than Sewell. He played in the
I
Big
won't say
Ten.
it's a hot take. I'm going to say it's a lukewarm take.
A lukewarm. But I'm just saying, like, Sewell plays in Oregon. In the school you go to, it matters. Like the prospect of Kwity Paye. And I say this all the time. Recent history, when I mean recent history, I mean like since like 2011, 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Since Jim Harbaugh has coached Michigan, they haven't been doing good. They aren't competitive. Outside of that year where they had, Jabril Peppers and Devin Bush, what players from Michigan has really succeeded in the NFL since Jim Harbaugh has been there? Like,
so what's the argument that you're putting forward right now? Are you saying that?
What are
you saying?
To get to the point, I know I'm taking a long time to get to the point. I just feel like if Devontae Smith is there, if Jalen Waddle was there, or if Kyle Pitts is there, even Micah Parsons, I just have a hard time, taking Rashawn Slater or another offensive lineman over them. Like Devontae Smith is the real deal. People question his size, but that dude could get open. And that's something that the Giants don't have on the off. Like Kenny Golladay is the big threat. He has a high percentage on basically all his routes, and he's going to make a jump ball. Sterling Shepard has injury history. The Giants really have an injury concern with every offensive threat on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody was saying to me like, well, and I was saying, you can't just call it quits on Lemieux after what he played. He was in the starting lineup for what, like 6 games, 7 games.
Well, here's the thing, right? I wouldn't say it's calling it quits because I don't know if Lemieux was drafted to be a starter. I don't think he was drafted to be a starter.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe he could develop into that.
Yeah, I'm saying the people that do like want to call it quits and just want to. I've seen people they're like, well, Lemieux doesn't have it, and I'm just like, you don't know. And then it was like somebody mentioned me on Twitter, and he was like, you can't just assume, because I was like, we should take an offensive threat like a Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, and then draft a guard or a center in a second. And he was like, you can't just expect.
Peace out, CJ.
He was like, you can't just expect them to get better. And I'm just like, you can't expect Golladay to not get injured. You can't expect Sterling Shepard to not get injured. You can't expect Darius Slayton to all of a sudden be better. Can't assume that stuff. So it kind of goes both ways. And that's what, the specialty of the draft is. You're not going to know until you know, like Biggie said. But if I'm at 11 and Devontae Smith is there, I just got to take him.
And real quick, a shout out to Calvin in the chat as well, Arizona fan and member. Shout out to Rafael DeLuna for the $2 super chat. Thank you, Raf. He says, wanted to show support, Giants to the playoffs. I said it last summer. People call me crazy, and you know what? They were right to call me crazy because the vision wasn't there last summer. But I said Giants to the Super Bowl, as in Super Bowl 56. I'm bringing that back. Giants to Super Bowl 56.
That's
Call
not
me crazy.
that's not
But
a crazy prediction.
Yeah.
Like, what were you gonna say?
We could get into that if you want to, but I wanted to quickly respond to what you were saying. It goes both ways, right?
Yeah.
We can take the receiver and still get a good enough O lineman in the second or third, or we could take the O lineman and still get a good enough receiver in the second or third. I feel like it goes both ways, which is why I'm like, I wouldn't be mad either way that they go.
And you gotta some point you just gotta have faith in Joe Judge and I always forget the name. I'm not good with names, but like the extra offensive line coach that they brought in, you gotta have faith in the coaching
Rob
staff.
Sale.
Yeah. There's another one, I believe.
We brought back Pat Flaherty. I think he's in like not an assistant, but like an offensive line assistant or something like that. Yeah.
His name I always forget, but people forget when he kicked Colombo out the door and he put his foot in the offensive lines. You know what? They played better. So who's to say that they can't play better coming this year? Like,
well, you are forgetting now. They played better with a guy named Kevin Zeitler at the guard position.
That is true. That's why I'm saying it goes both ways. You know, I don't know. I'm just having a hard time. Like Devontae.
No,
Smith,
I hear you. I hear where you're coming from.
Yeah, and somebody said Shane Lemieux's pass blocking is atrocious. I mean, you don't know that as of right now.
I think you might be. Maybe I'm misinterpreting what you're saying, but I think you mean you don't know what is going to be in his second year.
Yeah, and Will Hernandez is coming into his contract year. I assume that he's going to play extremely better since he's playing for a contract, but that's just me, you know.
And I brought that up too in my I'm gonna drop a link to that vid because I feel like it's super underrated and not many people checked it out. My 2018 draft video. My whole motivation for making that video was because every single one of these guys, including Saquon, because for some reason we didn't take his fifth-year option yet, which I think is kind of stupid. We should have taken his fifth-year option. But every single one of those guys in the 2018 draft are coming up on their contract year. This is a year whether they earn or don't earn their second contract with the Giants. And Arizona just signed Colt McCoy. Thank you for letting me know, man. Arizona fan.
Oh yeah, my friend just sent me that on Instagram, like a post. But what was I gonna say? Griminator X. He said Devontae Smith is going to be a still at 11. I totally agree, and I don't get why people were coming at his size, bro. If you could get open, you could get open, especially versus Ohio State. And I'm an Ohio State fan. Like our secondary wasn't the best it's been, but it was kind of average. But you still have decent secondaries, and Ohio State is known as arguably DBU. I don't agree with that right now because they kind of fell
Ohio
off.
State DBU? You sure it ain't LSU, bro? DBU?
Dude, we had I always forget the name. Jeff Okuda was and the draft scouts, they hype up prospects every year. We had Jeff Okuda, Denzel Ward, Marshawn Lattimore, but that's what I'm saying.
I feel like LSU had some dogs though too, man.
That is true. That's why I said arguably though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. But about Devontae Smith. If you could get open, and people forget, there's receivers that do good in the NFL that are really skinny. Like Devontae Adams isn't that big. Calvin Ridley is skinny. There's so much receivers that do good that are skinny, but somehow it's Devontae Smith because he looks like the Kevin Durant of the NFL. People just want to say he's a bust. Like, come on, bro.
By the way, I want to say, take back your Devontae Adams comment. Devontae Adams is completely muscular. He's at like 215 too. This dude is like pure muscle.
Maybe I haven't seen Devontae Adams in a long time.
Dude is like pure muscle, bro. One of the best receivers in the game right now.
And I'm sure Joe Judge is gonna beef up Devontae Smith if we take him. I mean, I don't get the hate. What were you gonna say about you said a second topic or something like that?
Did I? I might have forgotten it because
you said something about the Super Bowl, and you were like, we could get into that.
Oh yeah, because you were like, it's not that crazy of a take. I mean, so yeah, go ahead, tell me why you don't think it's that crazy of a take. That I'm saying Giants. I was saying since July, August of 2020, Giants are going to be in Super Bowl 56. Because my vision then was if we just improve this year, which we did, we improved in the 2017 season, and we have a good 2021 offseason, which so far we've had a great 2021 offseason, I could see us being a legit playoff contender And so I was like last year, I'm like, as a Giants fan, I'm gonna just go ahead and say we're gonna be Super Bowl contenders. So that was my take last summer. I'm bringing it back. Why do you say it's not that crazy?
Okay, so 2 years ago, I was just drowned in like the bunch of negatives by the Giants. You know, I wasn't really looking ahead, but this past year, if you look back at the Giants games, the Giants could have won like 11 games. Like, let's call a spade a spade. They should have swept the whole division.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't for an Ingram drop, and the refs calling back our touchdowns and BS.
The first Cowboys game had so many like ref calls in there, bro.
So I was back on campus. I go to A&T, North Carolina A&T, and I was on campus. And I was with my friends. I had Sunday ticket, and I was watching the Giants versus Cowboys game. And when Riley Dixon threw that touchdown to Evan Ingram, I literally like jumped out of my bed and I almost knocked my friend over. Like then they called it back, and I was like,
and they called it back, yeah.
Yes, because of Cam.
Yo, then they call back the Andrew Thomas 2-point conversion too, or something like that.
Nah, I think that stood.
Okay, they called back two touchdowns that game. I remember
they called back that one, and they called back the Darius Slayton one. It was like an illegal pick with 18 last year. I forgot his name.
No, I think it might have been Cody Core. I think, I don't know.
One of them. No, Cody Core was injured last year. It was
somebody. Damian Ratley, I think.
Yeah, him. But yeah, but looking back, we had so many good games. I'm trying to envision our schedule. The Chicago Bears.
Well, let me just get the super chat. Shout out to G Nation for the $5 super chat. He said we signed 2 more defensive backs and a tight end today. We're going O-line in the draft. Let's go, G Nation. I did see about that. I will say I do think we're going O-line in the draft, but I don't think that's correlation. These guys might be camp bodies, in my opinion, because you got to fill out the depth. But we'll see. Thank you for the support, G Nation.
And I wouldn't be upset if we went on. I mean, you can't go wrong. I think Micah Parsons isn't going to make it to us. I personally think he's gonna go either to Atlanta, or if they trade back with like Carolina, or Atlanta might surprise everybody and take him at 4, or Denver, since they signed Kyle Fuller and cornerback isn't really like that much of a need that it was before free agency. Rashawn Slater and Sewell might go to Atlanta as well. I don't think Atlanta takes a quarterback just because Matt Ryan has that deal for like 2 more years. And, and Cincinnati is drafting Jamar Chase because, we heard the news, even though that's a dumb thing to do, but not coming at Jamar Chase's talent. I'm just saying you need to protect Joe Burrow. But so that means I don't think Miami really traded up for a receiver because literally some talk of Jamar Chase had to have been in them trade talks between them and Philly. So I don't think they trade up for a receiver. I think they trade up for either Parsons or Slater. I think 2 offensive linemen go in the top 10 and Micah. So me personally, I think the Giants either go for vera-tucker or draft, Pitts and trade Ingram or,
and somebody asked who we signed. So we signed 2 DBs from the Titans, I think, in Chris Milton and Joshua Kalu. And then the tight end, Cole, I'm going to mispronounce his name, Cole Hikotini from Dallas.
Oh, I've been at work today. I didn't catch that news, but
it was actually late tonight. It was like an hour before the stream, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the little Super Bowl stuff. Look back at the Chicago game. That was a very winnable game. I just think we didn't bring our A game. I'm not gonna lie. If we ran that San Francisco game back, we would have beat them. I really don't have no question about that. Evan Ingram's talking about Ash Money with the
Yo, Ingram, bro. You kind of bit late. We've been slandering you all stream, bro.
Listen, either catch the ball or you out of here, bro. I'm sorry. But yeah. We talked about the Eagles game in the Dallas game. And another thing about Daniel Jones as well. Look at the games that we were supposed to win our crucial game. He came to play. He was just let down by his team. Philly, and I say it's a curse for, the Eagles keep beating us. Whenever we play prime time in Philly and they wear all black, we lose. I'm sorry.
No, whenever we play prime time and we wear color rush, that's why people I don't hate the color rush. I I love the color rush the way it looks, but the color rush is legit some bad juju on us. We cannot win when playing in them, bro. That's
Same
why
thing with the red jerseys.
I hate when the Giants play in the color rush because I'm like, this is an automatic L, bro.
Even back to when I was in middle school, when we played prime time versus the Eagles, and Cruz got hurt. It was just, oh my God, I just have a bad experience. But Daniel Jones was about to break the curse. He put the ball on the money to Evan Ingram.
Right there on Ingram's hands.
Dallas, he came to play, and people, he kind of messed up at the end when we had a chance to go down the field and like kick a field goal, but we shouldn't really have gotten to that point to begin with. The second time we played Philly, both times we played Washington, what's another game we lost that we should have won?
Buccaneers. But that was the one game DJ didn't show up to play, but everybody else showed up to play.
I said some horrible things to DJ that night. I'm not going to lie, and I take it back. But, I just feel like he came to play. Like when the time to get it done, he put the ball on the money. I don't know why people he said Evan Ingram from Dr. Garrett's trash too. I don't like to hate on Jason Garrett either. I just feel like Saquon was really like the focal point of his offense. And just like Daniel Jones, if you lose that, it's going to really hurt your offensive scheme. But he should do better.
Yeah, we should have won the Rams game, but I do put a little bit of blame on DJ for that because he had the ball, to go down with like a minute and a half left, and he couldn't close it out. Like we should have won that game.
Back to back, the Bears game. I was yelling at the team. I was like, run it in. Same thing with the Rams game. I was like, just take the ball and run. Like you don't need to force it, but those are mistakes that you have to make. And I just feel like it's just gonna be so special this year, bro. Like he's just. I'm gonna have to ask you to close it out though, so I can get my last two guests on. Oh, okay, no problem. But yeah, so to the hub, man, and all the content creators. I really respect y'all. I'm not gonna lie. If Max Webster's still in here, I really respect him. Like I said, I'm a journalism major, so I really appreciate like the the podcast people and all that in the world. But
I
yeah, man,
probably went into that, man, because look at what I'm doing now. I should went into your major.
Yeah, bro. Literally, it's like that's the best job ever. Wake up and talk about sports. Like I don't like what the ESPN people say, but if I'm getting paid money
to do it, bro, like I said, Skip is paid to be a troll.
He gets paid the same as Melvin Gordon and Lou Williams.
Yeah,
crazy, just to troll. But I would do that if I had the money. I don't care. But yeah, man. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna be real active. I'm gonna have a mock draft video dropping soon. If anybody wants to check that out, not to self-promote me or anything, but
no, it's all good, bro, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for having me on, bro.
Thanks for calling in, man. Have a good one, guys. Go over there, check out Ash Money Records Sports Topics, and have a good one, man.
You too.
Real quick, Skip. I don't know if I did it right, but anytime Shannon says Skip like that, I admit I laugh a little bit. Next up, we got DJ from DJ Smooth. Guys, he has kind of a Giants Twitter account, I guess you could call. Go over there and check it out. What up, DJ?
DJ Smooth. What's going on, y'all? What's going on, Hub? What up, Hub?
I'm good, man.
What's going on? Yo, let's talk about three things: the draft, Marvel Comics, and let's speak on damn, I forgot the third thing, but let's talk about the draft real quick though. So check this, right? So for 11 for me, bro, I want to go Parsons, bro. I think we need that edge rusher. We need that dominant edge rusher. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, that's what we need. Now, as far as O-line should go, I'm 50-50 with it. I understand we got rid of Zyler. So it's like, I understand people might think that that's a big need, stuff like that, feel me? But I feel like we have Lemieux, we have Thomas, we have Perk, Hernandez, Gates. So it's like, I feel like keep it the way it is. Like, let it rock. Let them grow together, get better together. You know what I'm saying? Know what I mean?
No, I hear where you're coming from with the offensive line. I got a question on Micah Parsons, though. So you think he's going to come in here and be our number one edge, is what you're saying?
Facts, bro. He's a beast, bro. He's a monster, bro. Him, like, yo, bro, listen. Him, who was the kid y'all was talking about? The Phillips kid?
Jalen Phillips.
Phillips kid? Yo, bro, we need that edge that's going to, like, get home on fourth down. For me, because it was some games like we wasn't getting to the quarterback. It was some games with him better O lineman just like took us out of the game. I go back to the Browns game.
There were some games where I will say Leo did disappear.
Yeah, he did. So we do need he doesn't need that 1B to go in there and stat the quarterback and stuff like that. But yeah, man.
So how would you feel then? How would you
What
feel?
happened?
If we draft Parsons, we have him on one side and Lorenzo Carter on the other side with Leonard Williams in the middle.
We might be doing some things this year.
I'm gonna be honest with you, DJ. Even
Defense
without
might be
him, I
top
think we're gonna do some damage.
Yeah, I believe that. I really think we get Parsons with Lorenzo Carter, Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams. With the secondary we got, it's gonna be nasty over there, man. There's gonna be some shit. My fault, but
No, it's all good. No, but tell me, for real, if we talking about the defense right now without Parsons, who's running on us? Who's passing on us?
It's not a lot of teams, man, on schedule. You know what I'm saying? I think we're gonna match it with the Cowboys. I'm not scared of Dallas. Eagles is dumpster fire down there by the turnpike, stuff like that. Feel me? Washington, we always give them the work. You know that. Feel me? But I would say to me the only team on the schedule I'm afraid of a little bit is Kansas City. Like to me, like personally, like I think we have a secondary to guard them, but I feel like it's gonna be hard to beat Mahomes because he's Patty.
I mean, we're playing one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah. Well, it's money Mahomes. Yeah, so it's gonna be hard to beat him and Andy Reid and Bieniemy, and you know what I'm saying. So I would say that, but besides that, on the schedule, not a lot of teams. Bro. I mean, I'm not scared of Tampa Bay.
Real quick, you're Kid Blue. What up, man?
Yeah, what up, Kid Blue? We should have beat them last year. You know what I'm saying? We should beat the Bucks last year. We should have, I mean, I'm not scared of the Saints. Saints got no quarterback right now, honestly. Chargers are very sneaky, very good, but I think we'll get him because Herbert he's still young and progressing and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I want to go Parsons. I'll be cool with Waddle or Smith because we do need that one more playmaker for Jones. And about Jones, yeah, I want to get on Daniel Jones. To me, he has to get better. He has to fix the fumbling issues, obviously.
But we say he's fixed it though. Like you look at the last 8 games, he fixed it.
Okay, yeah. He did do better at the end. I thought that maybe his injury.
You're hoping that he just continues to do better.
Set him back a little bit. Yeah. Okay. I would say that. Yeah, personally. But he just needs to progress more. You know what I'm saying? I think now this year we have the weapons for him, so he has no excuses to not, succeed the expectations. I expect 30 touchdowns. I know that's a lot from 11 last year, but the weapons you have now, you should at least progress.
So you're putting a lot of stock into his stats then. What if we win the division, but he doesn't have 30 touchdowns? He has like 25 or something.
That's cool. I'll be cool with it.
Okay.
I'll be cool with that. Listen, does he need to be Josh Allen? Not necessarily, because he had a amazing year. But you give me a Baker year. Like Baker didn't have a lot of touchdowns. They just basically did like chew clock control, run the ball downhill, stuff like that. So like feed the ball to Barkley, you know what I'm saying? Feed him the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Get it to Golladay.
Feed the ball to Golladay. Just find your playmakers, man. You know what I'm saying? Find your playmakers. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. But Parsons at 11, yeah, that's the guy for me. You know what I'm saying? I'll be cool with Waddle and Smith. I'm not gonna be cool with Slater because I just feel like nah, I'm not gonna be cool with that. I'd rather go White Davis or Ben Cleveland or another.
Speaking of which, let me get the super chat. Shout out to John Kim for the $2 super chat. He's saying he either wants to go Slater with Jabril Cox or Parsons with Wyatt Davis. So that's kind of what you were saying, Parsons and then Wyatt Davis in the second. It's just that I don't know if Davis is going to be there. That's the question.
don't know. I don't know a lot of O-line guys, stuff like that, but I just been hearing about Wyatt Davis from y'all been talking about the kid, stuff like that. So I was just saying, let's go Parsons in the first, and then obviously let's go Wyatt Davis in the second. But we'll see what we do. As far as Jones go, man, he just gotta get better, gotta progress. You know what I mean? Yeah, he has to improve this year. Mara comments.
He has to learn how to isolate this. He needs to learn how to close out games too.
I agree. Like that Dallas game when he had the ball in his hands in the tie game, he came up short. The Bucks game was the game that I was on Twitter, posted a video. I was very upset. That game, I was very upset of the 49ers game. Well, that Niners game was just But anyways, that was the past. This is now. But Marvel Comics, listen, he's going to defend him at all times because they drafted him the 6th pick. John Mara, yeah. Being a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. To me, about that, honestly, bro, like he's going to defend him at all time because like that's the guy he picked up, that's the guy he drafted with the 6th pick, that's the guy he signed off on, back in 2019. Which, not gonna lie to you, we all did not want him here.
No, not me, bro. You could go check my receipts with my videos. I was fine with the pick.
You wanted him?
I didn't want him, but I was fine with the pick. Like in terms of how people reacted, I was like, I'll see what he does.
Yeah. Okay. You gave him a chance. You giving him
right off
the 3-year rule. Yeah.
The reason is that I've had the 3-year rule since essentially I started to watch football more in depth. But also I literally saw everybody's reactions. I'm like, I kind of want to give the kid a chance now just because of everybody reacted.
Word, son. Feel me, bro? But listen, I just think the reason why he has a lot of pressure on him this year, bro, because when you watch other quarterbacks in the league, they're balling. And when you watch him, he's not really on a level.
That's why they're talking about that 3rd-year step, right? That's what everybody's saying. Step.
That's why I feel like him having Golladay, Rudolph, John Ross, Saquon back, I feel like he's gonna break out.
And Saquon's gonna help him a lot.
Yeah, he is, because we need him to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this year it's make or break. For me, it's playoff or bust. I'm gonna give it a $150 with you, Hub. For me right now, bro, playoff or bust.
If you got that mentality though,
the playoffs next year, bro.
I'm gonna say, DJ, if you got that mentality though, you better be putting the blame on everybody, not just DJ.
All right, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? That goes on everybody though.
100%. That's 100%. That's fair though.
Including Judge. If you're gonna say playoff or bust, because he's the head coach. Right?
That's my guy. It's my guy.
It is your
guy.
My guy
though.
But you gotta hold him accountable.
Though. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair though. Sorry about that. That's fair though. But yeah, man. But yo, real quick, and then I'm about to be out. You know what I'm saying? But yo, man. But yeah, man. This year is all about, you know what I'm saying. Go get Parsons with 11. Hope we drive smart. You know what I'm saying? I am hearing about Sewell. All right, the only lineman I will be okay with at 11, bro, is Sewell.
Really?
From Oregon.
But he's not gonna be there.
To me. Yeah.
He's not. There's no way he's gonna be there.
To me personally, bro. Like Sewell, like if we look at Sewell, bro, go Parsons. What he said?
Oh no, he was saying he was so mad on draft night that DJ could have won 6 Super Bowls and still be the wrong pick. He was talking about how mad he was draft night.
Oh, word, yo, bro, yeah, bro. Listen, man. My guy was Herbert. That's what I want. I want just Herbert. Sorry, but he was
coming out. Yeah, like Justin Herbert was supposed to come out 19, bro. He was supposed to
come out 19, man. Listen, you feel me? But listen though, much respect, bro. Then you got that new action too. That's a fact, bro. For sure. But yeah, bro. But where was I? Yeah, so I'm about to let you go. Know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I was what was I about to say? Damn, that's what my train of thought. Oh yeah. Yeah, so play over bus. You know what I'm saying? I gotta hold everybody accountable. That's number one. Let's go Parsons at 11. That's the guy I'm gonna be campaigning for the next few weeks. How many weeks is it until draft? Draft like
4.
4. All right, 4. 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? We gotta, hopefully, you know what I mean. Pick 11 is it's not a big pick, but it's the best player available pick. You know what I'm saying? The only lineman I would go with is Sewell. If it's not Sewell, I'm going Parsons, Phillips, or the old Jalari, whatever the kid name is
Yeah,
from Georgia.
and I gotta tell you this, man. Listen, the
Yeah.
call-in stream after draft, you better call in because I'm gonna want to hear what you say
Yeah,
about whatever we
I'm
do.
gonna do
Draft night.
that. I'm going to definitely do that.
Shout out to Entertainer in the
Yo,
chat.
Tanner, what up, my boy? Stand up, Tanner. What's good, man? Yeah, man, that's my guy Chris over there, man. Yeah, word. But thank you, bro. Most definitely. I love to come back on this show. You know what I'm saying? I've always seen you on Twitter doing your thing, big supporting of you, stuff
And
like
I know
that.
that DJ has been a fan. He's actually been sub to me since like last draft. I want to say last summer. Like it's been a long time since he's been
The
subbed to me. Yeah.
beginning, bro. Yeah, the beginning. I've been subbing you, bro, for the long time. For me, bro. But
From since I had the old intro.
Oh, intro, yeah, bro. Oh, intro, you, bro. Feel me, you, Tainer, Bad Dog, Fist Vegas. I mess with all y'all, man. So I love all y'all because that had to give me mad content to watch on YouTube, and it's crazy, bro.
Bro. That's what we're here for. So you don't watch ESPN.
Yeah, bro. Facts, bro. It'll be days where it's like I wake up in the morning, bro, and I go back to like old videos and stuff like that. I'm like last night, and then I go like down to my like subscribers video list, bro, and then you be right there, bro. I be tuning into everything like you be saying, all that, bro. But yo, man, let's go Giants. It's a big year this year. Make a break
to the playoffs.
You know what I'm saying? There's no excuses this year, Hub. No excuses at all, my man. But yo, I'm going to go and have a good night, my guy.
Have a good one, bro. DJ, thank you for calling in, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, hope you come in again, man. Like I said, he's been an old supporter, but that's like probably the second time he's only ever called in, so I would like to have him back on. And then for the final guest tonight, this guy is like consistently the last guest on all the call-in shows, yo. Shout out to Alex for Big Blue in the Bronx. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on? I'm so glad that DJ's on the right side of things now.
Yeah.
It's ever been since that one stream.
Which was on your channel Sunday, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
It was the Saturday that Kenny Golladay signed.
Saturday, yeah, okay, bet.
That was fun. Anyway, do we consider it, and I got a couple of questions, obviously, regarding the schedule in the 17th game. Do we consider it a lost, well, not lost season, but do we consider it a disappointment if we don't sweep the Eagles this year the way they look?
Why you gotta ask me a tough question with your first question, bro? Because I want to sweep them so bad. I believe we could sweep them, but like, yo, if we don't, I guess it would depend how those games go. You know what I mean? Like, it would really depend how those games go, man. But I personally would be a little disappointed. Objectively speaking, I don't think we should though, because the Eagles always find a way to beat us. No, they always find a way to beat us. I don't know, man. What do you think?
I'm going to say yes, and I also agree with you on the fact that like they always come back to bite us somehow, whether they're bad or good. I would really, really like to get them back at Lincoln Financial because we haven't beat them there since 2013. It would be awesome, but the NFL's not going to do this. They'll put some boring matchup on. I would really like them to open up with Giants-Eagles Thursday Night Football. Just because of everything.
I just want Giants-Eagles Week 1 primetime. I don't care what day it is, just primetime.
That Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, I mean, it's not going to happen because, they'll put some boring matchup. They'll probably be like Buccaneers-Packers or something like that.
We all want this one, 20+. We all want that one.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I don't get the Raiders' strategy of things because they just re-signed Colton Miller to an extension. Meanwhile, they lost 3 offensive linemen. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
You're going to need to educate me a little bit on like the Raiders' offensive line situation then.
Well, they traded Rodney Hudson. They traded Gabe Jackson. They traded Trent Brown. They traded their center, their right guard, and their right tackle.
And Colton Miller is their left tackle?
Yeah.
And he's okay or below okay, right? Average, below average.
Last season was his best season from what I heard.
And how would you rate him as a tackle then?
I would say average to slightly. I mean, just coming off of last year, average. But I know he had a horrible rookie season. His second season wasn't the greatest either. But then again, I'm not a Raiders fan, so I can't necessarily say. What was I going to say? Let's see. Regarding now, obviously we got our DT and Danny Shelton, someone who can move guys in the run game, pass game. Obviously, we'll see what happens, but he's not really known for that. Can we reach for a player at 11?
I think we can, because at this point, my whole thing is that I don't consider it a reach at this point. If you're projected to go in the first round, like if you're supposed to go within the top 25 picks and the Giants take you, and let's say you're projected to go 23 or something, I'm not considering it a reach, and it really has to do with what we did in free agency. We filled in so many holes in free agency, which is why we have so many options at pick 11 that I won't consider a reach. I feel like we have a luxury is not the right word, but we have a little bit of freedom to do that. Like, because at that point, if we're in the situation where we are taking somebody that's supposed to go in the 20s, it probably means that the higher level guys, talent-wise, are gone. And honestly, after those guys are gone from like picks 15 to 25, in my opinion, they're all around the same talent level. So I don't really consider it a reach.
Now, wasn't some of the Giants brass at the Miami Pro Day?
Joe Judge himself was at the Miami Pro Day, yes.
That's very good. What was I going to say? So let's prep ourselves for this, and I know you're not going to like this, nor some of the people in the comments going to like this. What is the irrational, and what's the rational reaction to us possibly drafting Greg Rizzo at 11?
So irrational is going to be what you guys get from me live on draft night, because I will be live that night. Rational would be, I hope they know what they're doing. I trust this coaching staff, so that means somehow, some way they saw this guy fitting, and that means somehow, some way Pat Graham likes him, Joe Judge likes him. I'm just putting all faith on the coaching staff at that point.
Imagine if he falls to the second round, and then we ended up taking him at 42. Why do I feel like that could?
If that happens, can I be mad at that? Nah, I can't be mad at that.
See, with the first round pick, I could justify people's anger, but with the second round pick, I mean, what damage is it doing to the team? Mm-hmm. If he's consistent on, maybe okay, let's not start with consistent because we all know there's some problems with him there. In terms of like adding him, what's the minus there? He's not getting on a big contract. I mean, he's a rookie at the time.
I would still need him to play on the edge because our defensive line is stacked. We don't have room for another defensive. Like, I really don't think we got room for another guy on that line.
Yeah, so I mean, that point. What was I going to say? Well, obviously, you going back to the last stream you had, I would definitely take AVT if Rashawn Slater's off the board at 11. Let's see, any other positions? What's an underrated move from this offseason that you really think is underrated that people are not really talking about?
So I'm going to steal Max Webster's answer because it didn't come to mind. Max asked me this question earlier, and initially I said Afidi and Ragland. I'm going to completely steal Max's answer because it makes a lot of sense. And I was just like, wow, it was so underrated I didn't even think about it. Restructuring Nate Solder's contract and getting back money from Solder that allowed us to do a lot of things. Like that right there, I think was the most underrated thing because his contract was scaring everybody. We thought we had to cut him to get the money back. We kept him. And we still worked it out. Like, that's amazing to me.
I'm going to say Ryan Anderson.
Okay.
Because I don't know how they'll go in the draft and draft pass rushers. If they do, if they don't, whatever. As I mentioned on a couple of people's streams different times, he never really got the chance in Washington. He was a second-round pick. And other than 2019, his snap count is in the teens in terms of percentage. And the year he had 49% of the snaps, what happened? He had like 4 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, something like that. I'm not going to be correct, but if you go on like Sports Reference or footballreference.com, they'll have the stats right there and the pressure and stuff. But I think he's the ideal Kyler Fackrell replacement, if we're going to put it that way. And with that, he's cheaper. So I think he definitely has room to product.
And I'll ask you this then. What do you think his ceiling could be with the Giants?
I'm going to say...
in order for him to gain those snaps, he's going to have to beat out a couple of people in training camp and preseason.
I honestly think if Zimenez doesn't produce in training camp, he takes Zimenez's spot.
Because I agree with you. I still think our best OLB is Carter right now.
I mean, they'll probably, in my opinion, keep Carter Coughlin aside. I think he's got some real potential as a 7th-round pick. Then when you get to Zimenez,
what about Cam Brown?
Cam
Brown is another guy that like it makes no sense, but he's always in the backfield.
Yeah. I honestly don't know much about him in terms of like going in the backfield and that stuff. I know him mainly for special teams. But they'll definitely try to get Carter Coughlin some snaps. Carter, I think they like.
Which Carter?
Because obviously what he.
Oh, you froze there for a second. You said Carter, and then you kind of glitched out. Which Carter were you talking about? Okay, bet.
With that, and people, keep saying, O'Shane Zimenez was injured last year. That's why he didn't get snaps. I don't really believe that. I think they don't believe in him as much as like the Betcher guys did the previous year, and his snap count was low before he got injured. And with that, the most snaps he played was against the 49ers. We got absolutely crushed. So that's just my opinion on Zimenez. And it's a shame because I liked him with the Giants. And unfortunately, that really doesn't seem to be going on a positive path right now.
Mm-hmm. I got a lot of faith in Carter, too. It's no secret. I've already preached on him quite a lot. I hope he works out for us. I don't think he could be that first guy, but I think he could be like a legit 7-sack guy for us, like that second option.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of those rotational pass rushes where someone gets a sack. And, I definitely think Carter, as in Lorenzo Carter, will probably have the lead in that. Maybe Williams again. But I definitely think now, obviously, 21 or I think it was like 19 or 21 sacks came from the defensive line. I definitely think, in my opinion, that the outside linebacking core needs to step it up in that factor. Now, sure, sacks and pressures aren't everything. But we only had 2 more sacks than we did the year prior. And our pass rush was not the greatest in the year prior. So that's my thing on that. Also, I'm going to try, and I've been trying to get season tickets for the Giants. I don't know if I'm going to commit, though, because, do I want to?
Aren't they super expensive? You talking about a season ticket holder?
Yeah.
Because what's the price on that actually?
See, because I saw something on the Giants website or somewhere on Twitter, whatever. It's like, claim your price for $100. And I didn't, there's a catch to this. So I emailed them. I said, listen, give me the rundown. So the guy's like, $100 is your first installment over the next 4 to 6 years is like a payment period. And that with that, let's just say you're getting a section, I would say, fairly close on the first level to the Giants bench. That's about $10,000. So you're paying $10,000, I think, in all of that in installments in that 4 to 6 year span. So as I said, I don't know that I really want to commit to that. I really do want to go.
When I go to Giants games, I usually, and I remember the sections, I usually go around 245A or something like that, or maybe 246A. It's kind of at an angle by the goalpost. It's a really nice view, better than you would expect. But that's usually where I go. It's also really fairly priced, most of the times. But that's my sweet spot to go when I go to games.
Well, the mortal sin that I've committed, and I think it's a mortal sin, is that I haven't been to an actual Giants game. I've been to 2 preseason games. I went to the last home preseason game against the Bears. But obviously, those were cheap tickets. And we got, we were this close. I mean, he came over with his wife, Prince Mukamara. And we were 3 sections down from near the the fencing or whatever. But those tickets were fairly priced. But obviously, I'm going to try to get myself back in the regular season. I do want to go to Eli's Ring of Honor game or whatever the game they're going to retire his number. That's the game I want to go to.
I was lucky enough to be at the Dolphins game, which turned out to be his last game, and I was in the standing ovation. That will always be one of my best memories. Going to a game I didn't expect to be Eli's last game. Turned out it was, and all the fans got together for the standing ovation at the end, man.
Yeah, I originally thought when I went to my first technical Giants game in 2018 against the Jets, the preseason, I'm like, oh my God, I'm seeing Eli for the last time. But when he came back and, the cap hit and everything, stuff like that, I'm like, wow, I'm going to see him for one last time. And the last pass, or one of the few last passes he threw, was a touchdown to Betty Fowler. But I'm just grateful for that moment, really, right there.
That's really cool, by the way, Durant. He works parking at FedEx Field. He was about to stand on field during Perkins' big game versus Washington a few years ago. That's really cool. I would love to work at MetLife Stadium, bro. That would be, hey, yo, man, could you imagine?
And we work as like a food vendor or something like that. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
Try
with
not
the
to steal food
overpriced
from the
food.
back or whatever.
Yeah.
That's stadium food. That's just the stadium food in general. I just wonder how that's going to jump this year.
Oh, a lot of it's going to jump because they're trying to open stadiums fully, is what I've seen on Twitter. They're trying to fully get stadiums back open across all NFL teams. And I'm like, I don't know how they're going to do it, but somewhere, price is going to increase, whether it's through tickets or through food. And that's why I've been really like hesitant getting tickets this year to go to a Giants game. I usually get one to go in like around December time, November, December. I'm really hesitant though, because like the football tickets on general are already expensive without price hikes.
I remember I was supposed to go to the Giants-Jets game in 2019. I think I got sick that weekend or something like that, and we couldn't go. But the prices were high that week. And going back, I didn't know the thing about the NFL, trying to open stadiums and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw a couple tweets today. I agree with you, Giants being sports.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
I mean, there's basically that. There's one more thing
Wait,
I wanted.
Miz, you work at Citi Field and MSG? Bro, I've been to Citi Field so many times, not for like Mets games, because like it's right there. They hold a lot of events there in general. Like it's literally a train ride away from me, bro. I never saw it. That'd be pretty cool.
That's a good fact. Maybe because I was planning on going to the 9/11 game, the Yankees and the Mets this year, and then obviously I want to go back to a Knicks game. But that's a lucky job. That's a lucky job. And I didn't know that thing about the NFL, as I mentioned. But the last thing I'm probably gonna say is like I know the Texas Rangers on Thursday. They're opening to full capacity, and that's Texas. So.
Mm-hmm. And Texas Rangers, I mean, they want to get full capacity because they opened their stadium to nobody. So,
yeah,
that's pretty cool, though, Miz. I hope I see you next time I'm there, bro. It's literally like 20 minutes away from me by train. That's crazy. I just got to say, I got to hop on the F, and then I think it's the 7
train.
Yeah, I think the 7 train goes there. Yeah, so I get on the F for a couple stops, and then I get on the 7, and then bam, we're there, Citi Field.
I totally forgot the F goes to Queens.
I mean, it's the longest. It's either that or the A train. That's the longest line. F goes from Queens to Brooklyn, Manhattan, downtown Manhattan, then back into Brooklyn, Coney Island. But then the A goes from like Far Rockaway to Queens to Brooklyn to Uptown, and like all the way uptown Manhattan. So yeah, there's one of them that's the longest, man.
Yeah. All right. So I'm guessing you want to close out your show.
I mean, unless you got anything else you want to talk about, then yeah, I'm closing it out right here.
I'll let Kush say his final words. And once again, thank you for having me on. Guys, obviously got Boys in the Big Apple podcast tomorrow discussing some Yankee topics. Opening days on Thursday, and I'm going to be live then reacting to the game and screaming at the DV. All
right then, man. You guys know you got to go over to Big Blue in the Bronx. The Bronx part of his nickname is from the Yankees. He had to clarify that for me when I asked him one of the first times I had him on. Guys, thank you all for tuning in. The chat has been great, man. You guys have been amazing as usual. Shout out to everybody in here. Thank you to everybody that called in. Go over, check out Big Blue's channel. That's it for now. Alex, you got any last thoughts, or did you already say it?
Basically said it, but Kush, thank you for having me on.
Batman, have a good one. Guys, once again, shout out to everybody. Thank you. Good night.